everybody. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you guys doing today? I want to thank a couple of subs. Ruby Bea with a 4-month resub. Thank you very much. Silver Stitcher with a 23-month resub, nearly 2 years. Appreciate it. And Green Arrow with an 18-month resub. Thanks. Hi guys, welcome. Got the legendary axe to drop last night. Nice. Congrats, Crack. Working on the Super Bloom portion. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I have, for the occasion, applied blush, the pink wig, and a suitably fluffy-looking sweater. Works for me. Making myself some brownies. Nice. I made a carrot cake. I made a 3-layered carrot cake because I wanted to try out my piping tips. So then I decorated it using all of the piping tips in cream cheese frosting. And it's pretty exciting, but it's also pretty desserty, so I only had like a I'm gonna freeze some of it, I think. Zyla, thank you for the 43-month resub. Happy Valentine's Day, Hazel and Kira. Thank you. Sweater looks so comfy, suitably fluffy. It's a nice warm one, and it's a bit breezy today. I will make excuses in advance for any potential lack of energy today because my poor Moo, my puppy, has had an upset tummy last night, and he was up a lot, needing to go out. So the good news was that he let us know and that we were able to take him out, and then the bad news was that it was like every couple of hours. So he's doing better now. He had some breakfast and now he's finally napping. I hope he feels better soon. He's just one thing after another with him lately, but he was just I gave him some traits that I have discovered do not agree with him that I will no longer give to him. So now we know. Run of bad luck. Yeah, run's the right words. Any plans on playing hardcore self-found? Oh yeah. I gotta clean up my retail goals. Well, I gotta figure out what they are. But then I gotta clean up my retail goals before, what is it, February the 29th? Because you know I'm going in. That challenge was made for me. I can't wait. It's gonna be beautiful. It's hardcore classic WoW, but self-found means that they posted, I think, what it means. There's like no auction house, no trading. That's gonna be, you're on your own. You gotta use the stuff that you get or you make or drops for you or whatnot. You know. You can't do the thing that we were doing in Hardcore Classic where we were just like farming gold and then buying a bunch of greens on the auction house. You're kind of limited to what you can find, which amps up the challenge. Is it a leap year? It is, apparently. I was looking, I was thinking, man, I wonder, I was told that it was on the 29th. Is someone just pranking me because there is no February 29th? And then I looked on the calendar. There is indeed a February the 29th. Shall we do one Crown Chemical Co. just for a chance at the love armor for the Proto Drake? Let's do just one, shall we? Makes gold making more interesting too, since you're not making extra from the auction house. Finally, a way to play WoW without everybody cheating, i.e. trading and stuff. I didn't know if the emphasis was because you were doing your impression of me doing my impression of Waluigi when he loses in Mario Party, or if that was just a happy accident. Got them out yesterday, manuscript today, officially done with it. Nice, 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 nice. That's a lucky streak of days. I got him out. It's I got the Heartseeker Mana Ray. I got my 270 tokens, so I bought this one. I also have the Love Rocket. I got that last year. But I got the vendor mount. And I also finished doing dailies on my druid, so I also got the love boat. I didn't realize until that point that we already had a love boat. This is just a bigger, more luxurious 4-seater option. 32 characters a day was getting tiring fast. Oh, I bet. Hi, so surprised. Got the love rocket yesterday. Congrats, Haley. Manuscript seems like a worse drop. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen too much of the love armor around, but maybe it's just because we're not as... Maybe I haven't been looking, actually. Couldn't tell you. Chat had more layers than your carrot cake. Which holiday items like the manuscripts could be bought or dropped by the boss if you feel lucky. I ended up, speaking of bought for 50k gold, I ended up buying the Lunar Festival armor after all. Not because I particularly wanted it, but because I wanted to get a good shot of it. I mean, I guess this is my excuse. I wanted to get a good shot of it to show in the news video. And I figured, you know what will let me get a better, you know, piece of footage is if I buy it and then I can show it in the game. So I did that. So, this expense. Didn't notice it in the video. Love the Hearthstone the most. Yeah, it's a good run. Any luck? Nope. Okie dokie. But yeah, the toys are cool. They've got some neat Love is in the Air toys this year. I like all the new toys that they added. Most of the time yeah, he's not ready to go on to adult kibble yet though. He's only 9 months old. He's gonna be on large breed puppy until he's done growing in whenever he decides to wrap that up. he's I swear he's had another growth spurt because I was looking at him and he was sitting on me and I was like, you're big. When did you get so big? Which I think was what was giving him pain last week or the week before, whenever that was his growing pains. It's true. It is a lovely day. Hit that rocket. You like the rocket? You want to see the Heartbreaker X54? Is that what it's called these days? X45 Heartbreaker. Pardon me. Just don't mind me mixing and matching stuff. Yeah. They grow so fast. Every time you think that he's done too, because like his face doesn't look, his features don't look super puppy anymore. Because he's 9 months old now. He's like an adolescent. So you look at him and you go, you're a good sized dog. You could be done. You know, this is a good size for a dog to be. We see other dogs that are this size. You're a dog. You could be done growing. And then he's like, Mom, I'm 8 months old. It's not happening. Gonna stop at 100 at the earliest. He actually might. I was memeing, but it might be true. So today, my choice of what to do I have some options. I want to look at my mail on my Alchemist real quick. My parents were told their dogs were preparing physically even before they were supposed to switch. Interesting. Will he ever catch up to his paws? I don't know. They're still massive. His fingers are like, he's got big fingers now. Hard to believe that your puppy isn't even a year old yet. I know. Oh, man. Oh, also, other thing I did, as you might be able to tell. I got the shop armor because I realized, while it's true that I'm not about to spend 40 Canadian dollars on that, I have BNet ballots and I have gold. So now I'm excited about making gold again because I'm like, listen, we're going to make a bunch of gold and then we buy tokens for ballots and then we can buy whatever garbage they put on the shop and then just have it so that we can look fancy. Don't forget Boy's Quest. Yeah, that's definitely on the list. So isn't she gorgeous? The only thing that she's actually wearing that is from the set is the mini skirt. Everything else is not from the set because everything else makes it look worse. But she's got the mini skirt. She's got her little pop star top on. She's got wings that are from the Kyrian thing. She's got boots that are not related just so that her feet are not so chunky. The belt is... I don't think she's wearing the belt. Is she? Let me see. She might be wearing the belt. Oh no, you're right, she is wearing the belt. She's got the Twilight Witch's sash and the Twilight Witch's skirt, but she's not wearing any other Twilight Witch pieces. That is a statement. How are you farming gold? Alchemy recently, because that's kind of what I'm set up to do. So I have been, yeah, there we go, that's good. I have been just kind of running the same thing that I have been the whole expansion. I've been doing alchemy. Yeah, so we got 100k in the mail. I was gonna post up these bad boys. Another 100k worth of those. And then maybe do a quick little scan, because I have a whole cup of coffee to drink, and there's a kitty cat here that we could put on camera, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if we wanted to craft some stuff. Boiled rice chicken. You want to know something funny, is because of that, and he was eating his kibble this morning. I found that if I add water to his kibble, he'll eat it, but I actually went out. My partner and I went and like walked to the store at like 7 in the morning because we were already up because the dog had like been keeping us up, to go buy him some chicken to offer him as like a bland food, you know, sad tummy option. And we had done canned chicken previously, just like like plain canned chicken, but they didn't have any, so I bought him some boneless. I don't eat meat, so I don't normally shop in that section, and I felt very strange, but I bought my dog some boneless, skinless chicken breasts that my partner's gonna prepare for him because he is having a boo-boo day and because he's a very lucky pup. So we did our auction house scan, and then we're looking to see here. That's looking decent. I don't want to make any more elemental potions because I still have some. How's Tepid Versa doing? Tepid Versa looks also suspiciously strong, if we're being honest. I'll make some though. I'm not too good for that. Let's do a batch of those. Let's do some of that because I can always get rid of those. I was surprised to find at this late stage of the whatchamacallit. Oh no, not 2 stars. Oh yeah. Yeah. At this late stage of the patch and the rating cycle, I was surprised to find so many alchemy things still quite profitable. But you know, there you go. 1,000 of those. That stuff is dirt cheap. Yeah, I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to make gold. 18 characters per day for Love Rocket. No luck. Did get the mount armor though. Nice. Rice, yeah. Posting Season 3 Mythic Plus still going strong. I wonder why. I'm certainly done, but that's just me. I'm just one person. I need to do, and I did do some messing around with my UI. It's not perfect, but it's a little better. I need to do some more solo shuffle, because I really want to finish the Vicious Mount before... here, let's, big screen kitty cat, there she is. Before the 29th, when Hardcore Solo Self-Found starts, because I know I want to go in on that with no worries as to what life I've left behind. I want to be able to really dig into that. So I must finish my Vicious Mount, and I'm only like barely, I'm not even halfway there, I'm almost halfway there. But today is not the day for that. We don't mess around with live streamed healing solo shuffle on like 4 hours of sleep. Did that for my pup. Timing problem, turns out chicken was the problem. Now she's a lamb girly. Interesting. Sorry, kitty cat. Hoping that this is a sign the expansion's got good player retention. Wanting to get rewarded for making a good expansion. Any thoughts to the class for SSF? I was thinking Hunter this time. I really like Classic Hunter. And I liked Warlock as well. Those are like my 2 favorite classes to play in Hardcore. And especially being self-found, it would be one of those 2. And I feel like I just played enough Warlock. Like, I got the Warlock to 40 in Hardcore the first time, so I'm kind of feeling like I would like to do a Hunter. So what happened on Sunday? Oh, Sunday, that's right, I didn't stream on Sunday. So on Saturday after stream, we went and got some vaccine boosters. You know, the works. I know, I got a COVID booster and also a flu shot at the same time. And I have learned about myself that I personally, with my body, I need a recovery day, if not 2, after that kind of thing, because I get decked. I was death walking on Sunday morning. I thought maybe I could stream it. I thought I could stream, which is why I booked the shot for Saturday. Also, it was hard to get an appointment, but I thought I could stream. And I woke up and I'm like, nope. And I went back. I like crawled to my desk and I like put the thing in the Discord and then I crawled back to bed and it was like not happening. Katari, thank you for the 34-month resub. Mostly a lurker. Hope you're having a fantastic day, Hazel. Why, thank you. The nice thing about the vaccine hangover, though, is that for me, it's literally like maybe 30 hours and then it's over. Like it comes real fast and it hits real hard and then it's gone. So I don't mind at all because like I know it's coming, and I would much rather be vaccinated. So I will stock up my place in advance. I'll make sure I've got like some Dayquil and some NyQuil and some like easy meals in the freezer and then just like spend a couple days on the couch. The double dip, very brave. Yeah, I was thinking about the wisdom of that because on one hand, both at once really trucked us. Both my partner and I were not in good shape. But on the other hand, they're both done now. You know, so I feel like there's something to be said for it. I might do it again. Walked around like Silverback all day with 2 sore arms. Oh, I got them both in the same arm. Good reminder to get another booster for me.
I'm glad I got the booster though, especially because I'm starting to get out and do a few more things. It's not like I'm partying or anything, but we went out to dinner last night. My partner and I went out and ate sushi in a restaurant because it's Valentine's Day today, and I thought, you know what, my days off is Tuesday. Let's be clever and let's go out for dinner not on Valentine's Day. Let's go out for dinner the day before Valentine's Day. And it worked out really good. We had to wait a little bit for a table, but it was right by a grocery store, so we just kind of like wandered around and looked around for a bit. It was really nice. It was funny. We were walking by a flower shop that was kind of in the same strip mall sort of situation, and there was a young man. I didn't look at him, actually. I have this thing where I don't look at people when I'm outside. There was I think he was a young man, and he had purchased some flowers of some description. I don't know if it was a potted plant or flowers. And he was kind of like pacing outside of the flower shop with these flowers. And then he asks the woman that's working there if they're open tomorrow, and she goes, "Oh, yeah." And then he goes, "Okay, just because I'm really worried that, just in case at some point in the next 12 hours I manage to kill these." And I thought that was, A, hilarious, because unless you cook them, I think they're going to be fine. And then secondly, just so cute that he just really wanted whoever he was going to give those flowers to. It was just really important that it go well, and I thought that was really sweet. Heavy woke me up today with the usual coffee and a box of chocolate hearts. Aww. Could have been an elderly woman or a bear, I wasn't looking. Which is funny because it's not like I'm not nosy. Like, I will check out any dog, cat, deer. I would say elk, but we don't see elk around here. You do see deer. Raccoons. Any animals I will almost shamelessly stare at. And sometimes even if they're in windows, like if there's a window cat or a window dog, I will try not to just like openly stare into people's windows, but I'm definitely checking out the window cat or the window dog. But people, I try to avoid faces at all costs. I don't know why. That's why you give chocolate instead. Morning, Hazel. Love the hair today. Thank you. Window cats are the best thing to see when you're stressed and running errands. They're just like watching TV. It makes me feel like a superstar because I'm on TV for the cat, right? Like the cat's watching the street, I'm walking down the street. Ergo, I'm famous. Yeah, like what if they look back? That's terrifying. Eye contact might lead to a conversation. Nosy and socially awkward, get some sunglasses. 7 song on a 5 stream street. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, no cat's probably judging me. They seem like they do that often. That's okay. Hi. Hi, sweetie pie. How you doing? How you doing? You know, we've been spending a lot of time with the puppy lately because he's been blunt. He's been not having a good tummy. Woke up sick today. Partner DoorDashed me Indian food for my lunch while he's at work. Aww. We have leftover curry for lunch because it was okay. If you want to hear another spoiled moment, I recently had a productive. It was one of my days off, and it must have been Tuesday. It was either Monday or Tuesday because I remember I was feeling a little better. And I was like, I'm going to make dinner early. So, like, it was maybe 2 or 3 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a big batch of curry. And then prep some rice. So we can have this for dinner. And I make the curry. And I get it all set up. And then dinner time rolls around. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really want curry right now. So we ended up DoorDashing, like, seafood instead. And then the curry, of course, it's like makes great leftovers. If anything, is better the next day. So we put it in the fridge in the freezer. We had some for lunch the following day. It was really good. But I was like, this is something that I would never get away with at an earlier point in my life. And I feel very lucky that my partner understands. Because, like, there was no food wasted. But I thought that was so funny that I had already cooked. The dishes were done. The food was ready. And I, like, kind of smelled it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not in the mood for curry. Maybe tomorrow. And I was in the mood tomorrow. It was good. I have more in the freezer. Hi. Hey. Worried you would say we have leftover sushi. I learned my lesson on that one. The other thing that didn't help the one time that I tried to get away with that was, so what had happened, and don't judge me too harshly because we've all done dumb things. I was at BlizzCon, one of the BlizzCons, and we had gone out for sushi, and I had not finished mine. Or maybe I had, like, ordered some delivered. I don't remember exactly. I think you know what? I ordered it delivered because I was editing in my hotel room like a nerd, and I wanted to eat. So, like, I ate most of it, but I guess I'd ordered too much, so I put some away in the fridge that's in the hotel room. And then I tried to eat it first thing the next morning. So it wasn't, like, a super long time, because it was kind of like a late-night food, and then, like, I figured I'm a gremlin. I'll eat sushi for breakfast. But the problem is, I think that the hotel room fridge keeps food barely below room temperature. Like, they're not cold at all. I think if it had been an actual fridge, it would have been, like, weird, but I don't think it would have been bad. But, like, I put a piece in my mouth and I'm like, nope, that's not okay anymore, and then I threw all of it out. And I've learned, and I've never tried to save sushi after the fact. I always just try to order what I can eat and then finish it. Never mess with hotel fridges. Yeah, they don't seem very effective. I did not get sick because I did not actually eat it that one time in the hotel, but I've never tried to save sushi ever since. As long as I don't see the worms, the food is fine. Yeah, it's very much a personal thing, because some people also have different levels of, like, constitution. I'm sure there are some people that can eat mildly spoiled food, not taste it, not care, also not get sick. To them, it's just food. I'm not here to judge other people and their food safety practices, as long as I get to manage my own food safety practices. Also, because I'm not preparing food for anybody else in a commercial sense. You are brave souls. Don't even bother, it's fresh food. Yeah. Parasites might give you superpowers. So, for today, I kind of thought about breaking into the freehold runs early, to be honest. What is wrong with leftover sushi? It's rice and fish? It is rice and fish, but it's rice and fish that you, A, would not reheat because it wasn't hot in the first place, and secondly, in many instances, the fish was not cooked. It's served raw. That's the trouble. Speaking of sushi, this is a good time to pluck Jira Dreams of Sushi. I've heard so many good things about that, and I've still never watched it. Yeah. Gave myself pretty severe food poisoning from an undercooked burger last summer. Ever since, make sure they're very well done. Yeah, it's funny. It only takes once. You get one good food poisoning, and then all of a sudden, you're careful. I've been there. Arison, thank you for the 30-month resub. In the chaos of life, it's always nice to have a cozy hazel trim to look forward to. Thank you for being so lovely, creating a great environment. Oh, shucks. Appreciate it. On the topic of warm food, Cash, as a person that I think is in the UK, where do you land on, first of all, beer, and second of all, beer temperature? Because I'm curious. Is this how you make your golden wow? Yeah. Yeah, it works real good. Works a treat. It's not very exciting, but I can put it on, and then I can go, like, play with my dog or do dishes, and then I can come back and I can post up. Served raw chicken. Was not great. Yeah. One of the nice things for me about being a pescatarian that does not often, I mean, I do eat fish, but I don't often prepare fish for myself, is that if I'm just eating vegetarian at home, short of, like, dairy safety, I don't have to be too careful about things like, cutting boards and, like, it's not that you can get food poisoning from vegetables and whatnot, but it's, I don't know, I feel like it takes more effort. No, you don't eat beef. Bought stew beef. Looked at the package. Says freezer used by February 29th. Seems like a really long time. Keep uncooked, unfrozen beef in your fridge. Beer is for... That's a strange take. Kind of miss fish. Can eat it. Partner isn't a fan. Yeah, I know fish is divisive for some people. Beer is divisive for me. Beer is a great thing for other people that are excited about it. They can have it. Hungary? Not even close. Really? Why did I think that you were from the UK? Not a huge fan of beer. No longer drink. When I did, preferred it cold, I guess. Yeah, I don't eat chicken. No idea. I figured you'd said something once. Oh well. I don't like anything carbonated. Yeah. Yeah, it's the flavor of beer I can't get down with. I thought Cash was American. I like how we all have probably, like, different images and like backstories in mind for each other based off of like little bits and pieces or just like how we talk in chat that could be like 9 degrees if not true. It's just the impression that you get. Love beer. Now I'm celiac. Can't have it. It's an acquired taste. And many other acquired tastes I have managed to acquire in my day. Like, you know, if I was a kid, I would not have touched things like blue cheese or coffee or, I don't know, vegetables. Anything bitter, really. And I came around on all of those things. I came around very hard on coffee more recently. German here, can't stand beer. I heard NA people think we drink our beer warm because we don't drown it in ice cubes or ice cold fridges. I just, I know somebody who is from England that will drink room temp beer, and we leave beer out for them to make sure that they have room temp beer if there's going to be a gathering because they don't want cold beer. That was I was wondering if that also applied to any of our British friends here. Used to dislike sour cream as a kid. Same, actually. I also used to have like a 0 tolerance. This is a cool transmog. I've never seen that helmet before, and I like it in this context. I had a 0 tolerance policy for mayonnaise as a kid, and I've really lightened up because it's not that I'll put direct mayo in something, but I will use mayo as a base for sauce now. I will mix lemon juice, salt, pepper, and a clove of fresh pressed garlic into mayo, and then you have a poor man's aioli. Works a real treat. Nice in sandwiches. Our beer is still cold, just the NA fridge is colder than German ones. Interesting. Presume British friends. I guess I was assuming that at least one, maybe a lurker somewhere is from England. I guess, well, what time? No, it's not that crazy late. Part and I are going out to a place that serves beer battered French fries. Ho ho ho. Happy Valentine's Day. When we were teens, we would slam our shotgun warm beer to get a bus quicker. Cellar temp is the UK standard. Scarlet British. That I think is true. Although I would have sworn the same thing about you. So I'm no longer an authority on where anybody is from. You could have told me verbatim words 5 times. I am no longer an authority. Okay, so we posted our tepid Versa. We're happy with that. I don't think I'm gonna make anything. Well, I'm tempted to. I'm not done my coffee, but if we're not gonna make anything else, we have freehold runs, and we have boys class order hall. Let's just crack into freehold. What if we just get them out, and then we can move everybody somewhere else, and then we've got more man farming to do. I'm British, but I don't drink. Heading to the EU in a couple weeks for a short trip. Way too excited about having their beer again. Finally got the Black Fuse bomb lane to draw from SOO. Very nice. Got coffee, added sugar, French vanilla cream. Everybody's gotta have it their way. Oh, my bags are icky, messy. There's cologne in here. No thank you. What is this? Oh, I break it down for fragments. Oh, you know what I should do? It's a fresh week. I ought to do a dig. And it's actually, I can make it if I sprint. Also, I might have a vault. Yeah, my vault's glowing, but let's see if we can make it a dig first. So it wasn't recent, but they recently wasn't recent, but recently. It wasn't recent, but at some point in the medium past, they took off the realm limit, so it's just an account limit now. So you can have, if you want, all of your 50 characters or whatever the account limit is these days. You can have all of them on one realm if you like. Yeah, I think on the topic of beer and drinking and being the odd one out, I think it's increasingly common for people to not drink. It's less of a weird thing now. I feel like there was a time where among people I knew that if you didn't drink, you needed to have like a story. People be like, well, why? And now you can just be, and either people got more tactful, or it's more normal for people to just kind of prefer not to drink for like well-being, and it's not that strange anymore. Stand near Edward. Edward, I need the quest. I have not done this yet this week. I need my free dose of fragments. Drinking culture in Norway is insane. In the UK, sorry, late. NA beer. UK lager, defo cold. UK beer, NA ale. I'm a bit undereducated on ales and lagers and, and beers myself. I can find my way around a scotch, and that's about it. Previous industry, not drinking, still looked at it as weird, partially why I left. They changed the archive world quest. They can be done with alts. Oh, the world quest. Oh, is that nice? I would have been more excited about that if they were regularly giving fragments for the world quests. And I guess I haven't looked currently. Also, I have a job. They've given me a task. They had been just for gold the last bunch of times that I looked. I am in Holy Stack. That's no good. Hazel, are you telling me you're not an alcoholic? I hope not. I have enough problems. I'm good to leave that one on the problem table. Last 2 times, all 3 were with the tokens. Good rewards from the archive events. Lots of cosmetics. Transmog. Basically, tons and tons of transmog that you can. I should get into shadows. Young 20s male, fun people. People think it's weird when I decided I want to drink. Strange because I just don't want to drink. Recently, in the last like 2 years of my life, I found myself making not like unilaterally healthy choices, but on average healthier choices. Not because I'm like, you know, strong of will or sturdy of heart or like anything particularly virtuous, but mostly just because I found that when I do make unhealthy choices, I pay for it. Like I don't feel very good. Whereas I used to either not notice or I would just brush it off faster. But in my 30s, I find that if I eat like a fast food meal or if I drink, as another example, your life's just gonna suck for like a day, and it's just not worth it. Relics, not room relics. Do you drink wine at home? No, not anymore. I used to in my mid-20s. I would have boxed wine that I would drink at home because I was classy. And even when I would get gifted like nicer wine, like it gives me a headache while I'm drinking it, and then even if I only have 1 glass, I still don't feel right. Like my stomach turns and like, you know, your head's not right. It's just no good. And I discovered that it wasn't for anything. There was no reason to like make myself drink it. There was pretty much only downsides. It's expensive and not healthy. So I figured I could just leave it. And I don't want to hear about blood pressure. I don't want to hear about it. Hate having to pee every 30 minutes when I drink. You said you could drink it sickish next day? Same way I always get a cold. Yeah. Yeah, it does a number in your immune system. I have one very strong memory from in my early 20s to late teens, I guess, when I had been getting over a cold, and it had been like an awful cold, and it had taken me like a week or so to get over it, and I was finally feeling better, and I went to a party, and I got hammered, and I spent the night like sleeping on their couch under like an insufficient blanket, and I was immediately like square one again with my cold. I had to start all over again. It was awful because I was like working. So now I've learned better on that one. Born at the Northern Sea, thank you for the 33-month Risa. Have a very wonderful day, Miss Hazel. Why, thank you. But I am lucky because I like drinking lots of water and tea. Water's great for me. I don't find that I've just gotten in the habit of having water in hand, so I don't feel like I need to make myself drink it, which is very convenient because anything I have to make myself do doesn't get done. So if I had to like force myself to drink, I would just be dehydrated. It would be no good. And then also that I have a decent amount of fun when I'm sober. Just doing whatever on my own. I don't know. Things are funny. Life is just funny. I enjoy things. Oh, it's Doom Shadow time. So I don't feel like I'm really missing out by not drinking. But I also have the same reaction to candy and like sweets now, which is hard because I still want to bake and make really sweet things, but they've also give me like, I get sugar hangovers, which is I guess convenient because it's a great way to condition me to not eat sweets. But I am having to let go of some things that I used to enjoy. Amen to that. Things are funny. I agree. Today I saw a squirrel that I deemed a successful squirrel because A, he had an acorn, and B, he was chunky. Whatever that squirrel was doing was working for him. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Britt. How you doing? Get to class. See you later, Jack. Have a great day. Alcohol isn't an issue, but if I eat deep fried food, yeah, I feel that. Love watching the squirrels in our neighborhood. They're very cute. Moosey likes watching the squirrels too, although he, I think, has come to accept that he's not going to catch one, so he's more willing to move on. My word, is that dog getting strong. It's come to the point where if I'm playing tug with him, I actually sometimes cannot win. He's actually strong enough to, with my full effort invested, yank something out of my hands when I'm doing my best. He's a big boy. Alrighty, we have some fragments we could sell. Let me take a look at the Archivist World quests. Should be some new ones. Oh, they're for fragments. Okay. Question that I'm going to answer for myself here. Let's go do this one in the Unarmed Plains. I had found in the first week of doing Azerothian Archives, I would do a world quest that offered fragments. And the other two would also offer fragments. But after I had finished the first world quest, the other two would switch to gold. And for the rest of the week, all I would see were gold. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to find out if that behavior is still happening, or if that was like a bug that they fixed. Because it was stupid. Pink hair for Valentine's Day? Yeah. I have a bone to pick with a local squirrel. They'd like to sit on a branch over my car, eat nuts, covers my car in shells. Off this week, out for dinner at a pub. Backs onto the runway so you can watch the planes take off right next to you. Oh, fun! All three stay on. Okay. I'll believe it when I see it. I need to experience this. Because I was having a hard time with it before. Shell's better than bird poop. Yeah. One of the places that I visit fairly frequently in my car is my spot happens to be like under a tree that has birds. And I always have to wash my car because if you let the bird poop stay on your paint, it will eat it. Same thing if there's berries, which the tree also has, which is I think why the birds are there. It's a whole thing. I don't like these world quests. So we need water. I do like the hat that the elemental wears. I think that is the main redeeming factor. If it hadn't been for the hat, they might have lost me. Still good, still good. No. Hazel, Dragonflight is officially over. What are your thoughts on the expansion as a whole? Is it over? We haven't even started season 4 yet. I suppose we've seen everything there is to see of like the... They're not going to add like any more zones or anything or any more raids. We're just going to re-see the ones we had already. I loved it. I thought it was a great expansion. I thought all of the raid content was amazing. I loved what they did with the Mythic Plus seasons. I thought that was really fun. I thought the Profession Overhaul has some kinks to work out, but on the whole, very... I mean, it worked out real good for me. Forbidden Reach. Let's go to the Forbidden Reach. Pollen season coming. Gift my car yellow tint. War Within is supposed to be out this year. Season 4 is going to be pretty small. Yeah, I'd have to look at the roadmap again, but I'm not expecting Season 4 to carry on for like 6 months or like a super long time. Which makes sense because it's not, it is rehashed content. So I feel like it's enough to kind of keep things fresh for a little bit, but it's not gonna, it's not a good place to dump people for ages and ages. Pop up this way. I'm disappointed there wasn't a 4th raid. Oh, coffee good. Hello, missed streams for a while. What are we working on? Currently, I am just chipping away at Archivist Codex dailies, mainly in pursuit of fragments to buy transmog with. Although I wouldn't be mad at doing enough of these dailies to get the achievements done either. Faded raids are okay. Would have liked a new zone/raid. Yeah. I could have gotten on board with that too, but I am personally biased, but I don't really mind, for me and me alone, a faster expansion cycle. And if there's a new raid coming out in, you know, whatever the month is, like say like August. I don't know if that's what it is, but you know what I mean. If there's a new raid coming out in X month, I don't really mind if it's part of War Within or part of Dragonflight. I know that they're like, you know, grifting us for every expansion purchase fee that they can. But as a content creator, expansion launches, you know, bring hype and they bring views in a way that makes up for that for me, especially because I'm buying my expansion with gold. So it's all kind of the same to me if the raid is like a 4th raid for Dragonflight or a 1st raid for the next expansion, as long as there is a raid within that time frame. But I understand that that is not, like, the correct take or the only take. It's just how I feel. I'm not in this cave. I'm not in this cave. I'm not in this cave. I'm leaving. I probably said Archivist Codex. I mix those up a lot. So the Archivist World quests are just out in the world. I believe you need to do the prerequisite quest, but someone was saying that once you've done it once, your alts can then start doing them, which would be new. Maybe they took the prerequisite requirement off. I would just look in the world on the map to see if you can find any Archivist Codex. Archivist Azerothian Archives dailies. There's too many reps with too many similar words. Maybe I am in the cave actually. All right, never mind. Oh, it's a oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay. Well, do I see what I'm doing actually? Hello. Goggles. All right. All right. Oh, hey, look, it's a Scaravolki. What are we saying? It is the right gate. I don't remember. I would look at. We don't have a date for the expansion release yet. I would look at the roadmap to get your best indicator. They'll have a season plugged on it. Certainly by the end of the year, but I think they were talking like late summer, early fall kind of situation. Opposite from news content, feels like there's so much to do, making it go by faster a little scary. Yeah. I had some aspirations because I had been enjoying collecting and doing kind of all the things and trying to like wring as many cosmetics out of the Shadowlands zones as I could. And mind you, I didn't get close to getting all of them. But I had such a nice time with that I had some aspirations of, oh man, Dragonflight, we're going to start fresh. I'm going to have all the things. I'm going to collect all of the stuff. And I figured once I kind of felt like, oh, hi, kitty cat. She's headbutting the mouse. I figured that once I had kind of gotten caught up on the things that I was doing in Dragonflight, that I would then start like just completionist collecting cosmetics with all the things. And I haven't even gotten close to that, and the expansion's gonna end. Like, there's no content gap where you're really getting caught up anymore, like I used to have. But I won't, it's just something that I miss from the way it was before. Hi, kitty. Kitty, you're sitting in front of chat. I can't see what they're... I mean, I can see what they're saying once it scrolls up enough, I suppose. I have a Plater profile. If you type !Plater, the chatbot will spit it out for you. It's not good. It's just the one that I use. I didn't know that people like did Plater profiles, so I installed Plater, immediately hated it, messed with the settings for like 3 hours, and then I've kept it ever since. So that's basically what my Plater profile is it's what I've managed to land on after just twisting knobs for my own use, but sometimes people want it.
My kitty cat. Moreau.
But if you asked me any questions about it and you said, Hazel, why is this thing this color? I would have no better answer for you than, I don't know. I think I like it like that. Maybe? So they don't let you get into the caverns from here. I thought maybe they might. We gotta go to the Zerlike Caverns. Kitty, you're sitting. First of all, you have a lovely in-focus head, back of your head. Your fur looks lovely. You're gorgeous. Second of all, you are thoroughly blocking my... Here, let me switch actually my... let me switch my sub feed and my chat feed, and that way I can maybe read on the right side of the cat. There we go. Plater is the add-on that I have that handles nameplates. So over enemy heads, their health bars over their heads. I am continuing to get mysterious fragments for multiple dailies. I like that. Oh, also, let's do Vault real quick. If that continues on alts, then there is an argument to be made for doing Archivist dailies, like world quests, on all of the alts. Mailing those fragments over. Mailing those fragments over. And then buying a bunch of stuff. Transmog? No, I have that transmog. And I have that transmog. Alright. Give me my pity tokens. I don't know why Foreground Kitty is just so entertaining for me. She was... What was I doing? I was trying to do my Love is in the Air daily. And I guess I hadn't spent enough time with her recently because she heard that I was here. She went, "Meow, meow," which is her way of saying, "Mm." And then she hopped up on my desk and was like, just giving me the business. So like headbutting my hand, you know, like rubbing her cheeks all over my fingers, biting my fingers, using her paws to hold my fingers in place so that she could chew on my fingers. It's Kitty's way of being like, Mom. But it's extremely difficult to play the game when that's happening. So, you know, you just have to kind of stop what you're doing, pet the cat. It's your only choice. I was gonna cue solo shuffle at that time, and then I thought, you know what? Let's not try. Let's put the shuffle down. Let's do that a different time. Started leveling a BM Hunter in Shadowlands. My first time in this account. Need to do I, the Jailer. Hard. Yeah, I think doing Archivist World Quest on all my characters would potentially kill me. But the idea of being done with the Fragments mod earlier is kind of appealing. Although there would be wasted fragments because you can send fragments over in flat multiples, so like, I don't know, remember if it's 500 or 1,000, but something to that effect. And you don't lose any when sending them over, but you would lose the extra amount because you don't earn them in flat multiples. So like you would have little bits littered on each character that you had earned that you weren't able to send over yet. Research Nifit is there like cats. Foreground cat. Katie, do you want to sit in my lap perhaps? If I move you, will you bite me? Let me see. Miss Kira, hi. Yeah. You wanna come sit? I know. Right, the kitty. There you go. Hi. This is nice, huh? You like this cozy sweater? Vaguely remember studies saying petting a cat stresses them out. People ridiculed it because cats demand pets. I could see a world where petting cats, what's the word? I'm trying to think of the right word. Reject words at this point are arouses and activates, but basically like cortisol, if that's how they're measuring stress, stress isn't always a negative thing. Stress can sometimes mean just being, like, excited, basically. Getting worked up, but, like, in a good way. Maybe scientific studies stress out cats. And also, cats seem to me to be very individual. But I am not a scientist. Information collecting. Is this a pretty easy one? It's just a using, yeah, extra action button. Love that. Use stress is a thing. Yeah, that's not the word I was looking for, but the concept that I was looking for. Exactly. Not exactly overstimulated. No, not quite what I was after. Close. Hello. My unicorn stickers didn't have any hearts in them to put on my to-do list today for Valentine's Day, but it had like a pair of fairy wings that I deemed to be close enough. It seems I came by at the right moment. Kitty cat. She's accepted the lap for now, which is good. We can have our chat windows back in their normal proportions. I've been gone for so long. What else? I mean, I guess I didn't get up to very much. I spent like a day or two just taking it real easy. And then I think there was like one day that everything was fine, and then Moosey's tummy got upset. Look so bad. Thank you for the 11-month resub. Hello. How you doing? I wonder if I'm close to any of the achievements for this, because there's pets. There's pets that you can get for this achievement. For doing the world quest like a certain number of times, like discovering X amount of things from these research sites. And I want to know... Do I want to know anything? I just want to get those achievements eventually. I want to have faith that I'm doing the right thing, and that if I keep it up, eventually Hape and Reese will be mine. I think those are the names of the pets. Is he still poorly? He's like got a different problem now. He's it's one thing after another with him. He'll be completely fine for a couple days. I actually ended up canceling his vet appointment because A, they couldn't see him for like 2 weeks anyways, and B, he was like totally fine. Like he was back to eating his food completely normally. His appetite was completely back. He hadn't been showing any pain for ages. Like he was good. But then and I think I know what happened. I think it was me. I gave him some treats that he really liked. And they worked real good as a high value treat. We were doing some training, but they made his tummy very upset, so we won't give him those anymore. I won't say what they are because I'm sure they're fine for some dogs, but they were not so good for Lucy. There's a script you can run that I found in the Webhead comments, shows you how close you are to it. Oh, okay. I might do that. Oh. Fragments and dreaming crest. Very good, very good. So she's done all of the world quests then. Well, all of the Azerothian Archives world quests. Imagine doing literally all of the world quests. There must be, I mean, people do all the gold world quests, but that's like a project. You could get 10k gold per character for doing this. If I wanted to sit down and do just gold world quests, not counting dragon racing, I could get like 170k gold or so. But it would also take me my entire life. Okay. So she's going... She needs to go, actually, to the vendor, because I betcha... Yeah, I've got 14k fragments. I could buy something. I couldn't buy the most expensive things, but I don't even know what I want right now. I bought the rope offhand last time. What are your thoughts on Priest Oracle Hero Spec? I talked about that in the news video that I put out most recently. My most recent YouTube video talks all about it. My initial instinct is I hate it, basically. I am not a theory crafter. I'm just a priest player that likes PI and thinks having to micromanage it sounds like my worst nightmare. But that is just my opinion. We are going to take this flight path, and we are going to take it as close as we can to the Azerothian Archives vendor. Yeah, right around there. Do you still give Moose bully sticks? Husky Mix Puppy decided a more effective way to consume it. Swallow it whole. Oh, man. I'm sure you've seen them, but you can get, like, bully stick holders that can hold on to the ends of them to prevent that. But, that's funny. Yeah. He gets them as a very special treat. And those agree with him just fine. We watch him while he's having them, and he does consume them, but he chews on them for a while, now that he knows we're not going to take it away from him. Make the buff go on a random person. So I haven't, like, dug through all of the info, so I won't pretend to be an authority on exactly how it works. My impression of how it works is that you can still choose who you're going to give it to, and you need to choose by kind of a double press of a button which buff you're going to get. So you would press the button, and then it starts cycling through the 3 things, and you press it again when it's on the one that you want. If it does that and then it goes on a random person, then that's the worst thing ever, because then you would be like, oh man, I'm going to give a melee buff to this warrior, and then it just, like, goes on the healer, and you're like, well, that was stupid. I mean, and maybe it's smarter than that, but the whole point of PI is being able to, like, direct your boon upon, you know, bless you friends, and etc, etc. Like, that's the whole point. I tried follower dungeons for the first time. They're so slow. Maybe it'll be like the seasons buff that Holy Palace get. Dumb that it gets a damage buff. Basically anything waiting for the rotation would ruin the timing of it. I guess you can just start early, but, like, the whole thing just sounds like it isn't for me. I hope that they rework it or just scrap it and come up with something else. I don't mind them making it more, like, supporty, but there has to be a way to do that that feels fun and intuitive to play, and not just fussy, you know? It's just, yeah, exactly. It's asking for too much from you. Cycle every 1 second that I'm not happy with. I feel like that must be just like a limitation of they don't have a better way for you to figure out. They don't have a better way for you to pick which buff it's going to be on the fly, keybind-wise. I am going to make a Ferret guide. I know it's incredibly late. I am still going to get it out before Season 4. It is technically coming. Oh yeah, I was going to go shop. That's right. I appreciate the interest in it. I am heading this way. I heard they had a less ambitious version they'd consider based on feedback. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what that's like. Okay. How's my rep doing? We're 3 of 5, we're halfway through it. We mainly just want the rep to finish the reputation. Yeah, so you can send over artifacts in 1,000 artifact increments. I guess it wouldn't be like the most wasted artifacts. Yeah, so we could buy a 12k thing. We could not buy a 15k thing. So if we wanted, like, one of these bags, we would need to save up for it more, or the hat. We could get some glasses. I like the lantern. Am I gonna use it? Probably not. But I like it. I guess I have a bucket on right now. Sure, let's just get the lantern. Gimme. I'll log it, I promise. And then we're halfway to another piece. I just have to keep at that vendor, and we'll get it all. We'll get it all sorted. I don't know why I feel like I want it all. I know why. That's how this game works. Where is my lantern? There it is. Doesn't go with this set, but that's okay. It's huge. So when sheathed, does sit on your hip. Everything that offhands that are sheathed sit so funny on gnomes. It's not the worst one I've ever seen. The worst one I ever saw was that trading post one that was like the money bag, because it went upside down and at an angle and in front of her legs. I wonder if it's because if they stuck it on her hip directly, it would completely clip through her arm. They've probably done it that way on purpose. That's probably the best way that, that's probably the best thing that she's got. Talia had an interview recently, posted on the channel all about it. Oh, cool. Is it worth doing the Loves in the Air dungeon after the first one of the day? It depends on how hard you want to go, really, because yeah, most of your chance for the day is going to be in your first attempt. The efficient thing is to do it once per day, but people have still gotten the Love Rocket Mount and the Love Armor on subsequent chances. It can happen, but it's the odds that are not anything to write home about. I haven't been, but I know lots of people that do. What about when we unsheath the lantern? We feel any better about it? Yeah, it's kind of cute. it's still so big that it can't help but clip. But yeah, I'm glad there's nowhere it fits. I can only see the whole thing when I jump and I fling it to the side. Yeah, that's good. Never tell me the odds. Need my main to be human, less Mog issues. Yeah. I chased that high in Shadowlands. I have to make some sacrifices for the sake of being a gnome. Okay, so is she done for today? I guess actually, you know what? I bet we could make it in time for a weekly time rift. I don't have an encapsulated destiny up, but I could get the fragments, or whatever they call them, the paracausal flakes from doing the time rift weekly. Well, Tyrants don't have that issues. So I'm a human priest too. The Mog is important to me. Priests have such gorgeous Mog. I totally get it. There's some classes where you won't necessarily, like if you're a druid, for example, you know, your Mog is cool, but you're not necessarily going to see it a whole lot. But, I don't know. Priests, I feel like, not only do they have some of the best sets in the game, but you get to just admire them while you're casting if you want. Knowing myself, my odds are worse than those that they programmed in. Why I made an elf? Rise and Shadow Priest. At least the new Glyph of Shadow lets you still see stuff. Like, this is way better than it used to be. Although I look terrifying. They need to fix that eye shine stat. I should rephrase. I would like for them to fix the eye shine. Clearly they don't need to, because they haven't done it. But it would make me happy if they did it, even if they just took it out. No shiny eyes. They're not helping. They didn't used to be like this. I must heal Glumpy. Have you ever wanted to have tried other MMOs? Yeah, I've given not all of them, but most of them a good shake. I've never wanted to switch to another MMO. I've never had that feeling that I see other people have where you feel like you want to stop playing WoW, but you need something to switch to. I've never had that. I've never had the desire to move away from WoW. So whenever I try something else, it's mainly a novelty or just because my friends are playing and I know we're going to go in on it for a while. The ones that have caught my attention for the longest, I had a couple of months where I was playing some Final Fantasy XIV. That was fun. That was very cute. I liked a lot of things about it. And then I've gone back to Black Desert Online a handful of times over the years because I like the life skill system in it. It feels very different to anything that WoW has. Remember when Rift came out? I just wanted to play both. I tried Rift when Rift came out because there was so much press about it. Because Rift, in my memory, was the first thing that got a lot of hype, at least while I was paying attention, as like a WoW killer. Like, this was going to be the big MMO. It was going to be better, like, fix all these problems that people had with WoW. People weren't very happy with WoW because nobody ever is. And Rift was like this big deal. And I remember playing it just to kind of see what the hype was about. And I remember thinking, this is fine, but I don't know, I'll be in WoW if anybody needs me. Like Rift, still happy with WoW. Rift is gone now, right? Like they shut it right down. It's like gone. Love Guild Wars 2, still play it sometimes. Had high hopes for WildStar. It's the first MMO where I plan to main a healer. Oh. I think a lot of MMOs in the market now have kind of found like their comfy place. Like they've kind of found their niche and they found their people and their business model, and they're just kind of trucking along doing their thing. It seems unusual for us, like, they kind of just stopped coming out with new ones. Like, existing MMOs will come out with new content and expansions, but I think game companies sort of figured out that it's not very profitable to develop an MMO because they're big and expensive to make, and the audiences are difficult to get and temperamental to keep. And that other game models are just way better at monetizing than, like, and don't get me wrong, like, well, like, MMOs, you can sell them, you can sell a subscription to them, you can sell microtransactions in them, but so many other game types suit themselves better to it, and audiences are more primed to, you know, go really hard at microtransactions so they can just make more money doing other stuff. Played Star Wars The Old Republic, but I'll do Star Wars anything. Star Wars The Old Republic was fun too. I like that one. The main ones that I have not ever played are the old ones. Like, I've never played RuneScape or EverQuest. And then, not that this isn't in the same category, but ESO is another one that I just never tried. I never got around to trying ESO. Rift is still active? I must have been thinking of WildStar then. I must have been thinking of something else that got, like, actually properly shut down. I never played City of Heroes, no. Ooh, I got a sword appearance. That's nice. I love it when they drop, because then I don't have to buy them. Excited for the Ride MMO in 2032. Games that have been in development that long make me nervous. Or they would make me nervous if I was invested in them coming out. I'm kind of apathetic either way, so it's no skin off my back, but anything that's been in development that long, I feel like the longer people talk about it, the more likely that it's either going to get A, scrapped completely, a la Blizzard, or B, by the time it comes out, it's already dated because they've been working on it forever. A la, what was that one? I can't guess because I'm just gonna guess a bunch of wrong things and it's not gonna go well, but there have been games that, like, languished in development hell for ages, and by the time they came out, they just weren't revolutionary anymore. Hazel, did you ever play the king of MMOs, Raid Shadow Legends? You know what? I haven't, and I'm saving that destiny for when I really need it. Oh, and 1,000 flakes. And some reputation that we don't really need, but sure. Why not? And how am I doing on paracausal flakes now? We have 2,100. I got a order-powered mecha blade that we can send over. And if we look at all... Let's find a piece of transmog to buy, shall we? Because we have all the mounts, we have all the pets. Hi, Miss Fury, you coming back up? I wonder if the WoW audience does not take the beta microtransactions as much as other gaming audiences. It's an interesting thing to wonder about. I think it's changing. Like, originally, it was... Sentiment was... At least Western sentiment was very much against it. And as the landscape has kind of become more and more populated with games that are just, like, full of microtransactions, you just kind of get desensitized to it. And people, as, like, the public shame factor goes down, people start going in on it more. Especially because WoW's audience has a lot more people that have their own incomes. It's not really a young person's game anymore. So you get a lot of people that are time poor, but they have disposable income. So they're much more likely to buy things like WoW tokens for gold and... You know, they're more likely to spend gold on microtransactions because they have the or money on microtransactions. They have the money for it, but they don't have the time to necessarily, like, grind out whatever else it was. Like, they just want to use the resource that they have. So I think it's evolving over time. But I'm also talking out of my butt. I have no idea. I am just a woman with microphone, so bear that in mind. I want these stuff. I want this stuff because I think this is one of the last things that I actually don't have yet. Is the stuff from this vendor. So if we have 2,000, We have, it's so weird to me that I have this from a different, I think it was a pre-patch, like the BFA pre-patch event or something had like a look-alike set to this. Yeah, I have cloth armor, shoulders and cloak. Sure. Yeah, why not? Just give me Mog. Yeah, so there's a cloak. Or maybe they like reworked it, like some of the pieces were reused and some of them weren't. It's really more about the number than anything else, I suppose. Are we getting close to ATT random jump? I'm holding out for that War Within pre-patch, you know I am. Maxing out Rep with Sword Army gives you a title. It gives you a title. I don't remember what the title is, but I know there was a title. Okay. I'm gonna send this to Crinkle. She can learn the sword. And I think it's time to go do some freehold, shall we? Or at least 10 of them. We can do some freehold and, like, you know, go flirt with instance cap. Unparalleled is the title? Oh. Only newish game got me excited. Elden Ring. PC couldn't handle it. Get it when I get a PS5. I've been poking around on it a little bit off stream. Or within pre-patch purgatory, really cutting into my WoW time when I think, what do I want to do? Transmog farming not on the table anymore. Yeah, it's kind of funny how much that used to float me. I also have been feeling that way. And I didn't think I really spent that much time transmog farming, and I didn't, but knowing that I could definitely kind of kept me interested. And what do you think? What do I think? Oh, I don't want to. I need a dragon ride. Sorry, pardon me. Random Richard, thank you very much for the 43-month resub. Oh, the new Hearthstone BG's patch. So I queued up one game this morning with the new patch, but then Moosey needed to go outside again, like, urgently, so then I didn't get to finish it, which was good because I was in the middle of no build. It wasn't going well. But I'm excited to play. I've been playing. That was one thing I did a lot of when I was sick, was I played a lot of BGs. I find them very exciting. I've discovered that when I'm playing BGs, my, like, heart rate rises. I feel all warm and fuzzy. I'm very invested. I find it very exciting. To the point that I'm, like, on the fence about whether or not this is a good thing for me, because it means that I have to, like, okay, that's enough game time. Put down the iPad, in this case. Have other responsibilities to attend to. Oh, Elden Ring. I'm pretty early in it, to be honest, because Palworld kind of, like, I had just started it and then Palworld distracted me, and I'm just now getting back to it. So I haven't, like, accomplished anything. I think it's very funny that I remember, and maybe I just made this up, but I remember hearing all this press about how FromSoft was not going to make another Dark Souls game. Dark Souls 3 was the final Dark Souls game. This is the end. We're done. We're going to move on. We're going to make new, different things. And then I'm playing Elden Ring, and I'm in the beginning of it, and I'm like, this is just Dark Souls. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I love Dark Souls. I'm always down for another one. But, like, come on. Like, it's, it was just that one piece. And maybe I imagined that marketing. Maybe I dreamed that. Maybe they never said that they were done making Dark Souls. But it feels very much like this is just Dark Souls that they've decided to call something different and get... what, George to do the story on? Like, it's cool. It does feel more, like, there are some different aspects to it. It feels more open. It feels less on rails. I'm interested to just spend some more time messing around with it, really. But, like, all the core of it feels Souls-like, which I'm happy with because it means that I feel like I know what I'm doing. Not that I'm good at Souls games, but I feel like I understand the core mechanics of them, so I know what to expect from this one. Elden Ring, aka not the next GOT book that George should be working on. Yeah. I want the next book so badly, but also I feel like I understand George. Oh. You know, I can't be talking smack on him for not doing Dream of Spring when I haven't finished the Farak guide. And other stuff that I haven't even told you guys that I wanted to do because I haven't started on it, so why hype up a project that you haven't begun? What are you farming Freehold for? The mount. I want shark bait. Ooh ha ha. Shark bait's brains. Shark bait's crackers.
Phase 2.
The red carrot. The world literally shut down. He was stuck in a house for 2 years. Yeah. I've come to find that sometimes task avoidance is not necessarily about whether you literally have the time. It's a very psychological thing that is not as easy to overcome as just do it. I'm sure he wants to. Dungeon difficulty. Let's leave. He could hire me to finish it for him. It would be amazing. Elrathir, thank you very much for the 55-month resub. Fun fact, you're cool. They did say that, but it was only the IP itself being shelved. It's just so funny how like you're not a I forgot what they used to call them. You're not a withered or a desiccated. I forget what they used to call the dead people that you were, like the player character. You're a tarnished, and they're not souls, they're runes, and it's not an Estus flask, it's the same thing. Okay. I did not get the manuscript from Love is in the Air, no. I didn't. Wish me luck, standing in front of Haruk Farak again. I just want the trinket. Be fine with it coming from Vault. All I know about Elden Ring is the funny video about the loathsome tongue eater. I'm pretty early. I remember him from the intro cutscene. That's about it. Got the Drake armor from Love is in the Air. Nice. Happy Heart Day, Squirrels. Happy Heart Day. Kitty cat, you're purring. You happy? Comfy? You want to take a nap later? I think we all need a nap. I think the entire household collectively needs to go back to bed later. We did not sleep good last night. Dungeon difficulty mythic? Okie dokie. I like the guy that calls you maidenless. Yeah! I thought that was very funny because he came in and he was like, you're maidenless, and I said, rude. And then I met the nice young lady and I'm like, will you be my maiden? And she's like, no, but yes. It's like, oh, will you help me level? Okay. What I didn't get was the rocket. But yeah, I like games like that. I think that streaming them is probably not my move though, unless my, I don't know, stream evolves substantially. Because I have streamed them before, and I never found that it was particularly good for stream. Like, I streamed an entire Bloodborne playthrough once. I guess not entire, I don't know if I finished the game, but I streamed Bloodborne for like a couple of weeks. And, I don't remember anybody watching. It's just very different content from WoW. It's much less social, because I'm focused on doing a thing, and I don't know. I'm just not, I guess I'm not very entertaining when I'm focused. I'm just focusing. I'm not, I have more to say when I'm doing something very casual, so it's just not the right game for me to be streaming. Soulsborne streams turn into Mage Star streams. Exactly, yeah. I think that's the same issue that Solo Shuffle has. It's not that it's like, Solo Shuffle is WoW, but I'm also just paying a lot of attention. Wish you luck in getting them out. Got my King's Rest mount today after 834 attempts. Congratulations! I applaud your dedication. Holy moly. I am farming Freehold for the Parrot mount. Getting an early start in my attempts this week. I was going to save them for like Friday and the weekend, but I've been doing them earlier and earlier every week. If we really run out of WoW to play this week on stream. Not that we can't really run out. Like, we have Legion class order hauls that I can always do. Because I just don't want to move on to another mount farm until I get this mount. Like, all my characters are parked out here in front of this instance, more or less. I like that. I don't really want to move them around. So I'm not prepared to start, like, Rustfeather or Arachnid Harvester or any of the other mounts until I kind of get this one. But having said that, we have Legion class order halls that we can do in the meantime, but also there's always Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I'm super into that right now. Every time I play Hearthstone Battlegrounds, I get a handful of people that go, wait, what is this game? I don't understand, because they've either seen Hearthstone, but they've never seen BGs, or they've just never seen either of them and they're not used to watching WoW. And then usually there'll be like 1 or 2 people that are like, great, now you've gotten me addicted to it. Like I infect a couple people every time we stream it. The Hearthstone crossover coming in March. Oh, I didn't look. I heard about it. Something about another Hearthsteed? I heard, but I didn't look. There's always the Pawn Nettle. Yeah, I guess I only need to move 1 character for Pawn Nettle. I'm doing 17 characters a week for, Oh, you weren't talking to me. I'm doing 17 characters a week. Haven't played Hearthstone in like 8 years now. I feel like it'd be too hard to get back in. That's the thing with Battlegrounds, is Battlegrounds don't use your collection at all. Battlegrounds is it's not exactly like a draft mode because it's not like traditional Hearthstone. It's like an 8-player arena of auto chess. Like it's a completely different game mode, but you and the cards that you have nothing to do with it, which I appreciate because I don't want to keep up with all that. It still takes like some figuring out and some game experience to kind of get the hang of it, but I find it to be kind of addictive, really. I don't know if I should be recommending this to people. If you're happy with your life, then just leave it alone. Don't worry about it. We're going to this character has a freehold port. What happened to Pal World? Nothing. I'm just playing WoW today. My Pal World, I finally bred a bird that I called the Goddess Hawk. I bred a Phalaris that had Ferocious Musclehead Swift Runner, so it is my flying mount that is also good at combat. I had to breed so many, and then I bred like 25 of them getting that Ferocious Musclehead Swift Runner Phalaris, so then I upgraded it twice. And she trucks. She is pretty good. That Lylene that I bred, also very strong. So I'm basically just breeding pals, getting more. I'm trying to get like some serious artisans with high level work skills for my base, just for the sake of it. But I played a lot of Pal World a couple days ago. I'm kind of burned on it right now. Come sit with me. Oh, I got you. You're okay. You're okay. You're just there's not a lot of room for you on the desk, honey bear. Yeah, I bred a batch of Anubis. I bred like a dozen of them. I got one that has artisan on it. And then I got one, I think a serious artisan that also got clumsy, which is a little bit unlucky. But I bred a bunch of them. How do you have the ports? This was my main in Dragonflight for Season 1 and 2. This was my Season 1 and 2 main. She was a Preservation Evoker. Alexia. I was a pre-voker before I switched back to Holy Priest. If they make account-wide Mythic Plus ports retroactive, I am first in line because I have ports across 3 characters. I have my Shadowlands main priest, I have this evoker, and then I have my Dragonflight main priest, and they all have ports on them. Artisan Anubis makes things stupidly fast. I wanted a bunch of Artisan Anubis to have handy just for just to stick on the base to use for like handiwork, basically, for making I caved on my no guns playthrough because I got bored of just hiding behind pillars while my pals fought things, so I made a gun. And making all the ammo takes a while, so nice to have Anubis handy for that. What is 10.26 gonna be? We don't know. Something piratey. It's coming out in March. That's what we know. We can expect it sometime in March. Practice for Classic Hunter with the ammo grind. Oh yeah. That's what I'm gonna be doing. When SSF comes out, when Hardcore Self-Found comes out, I'm gonna be first in line, front and center. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna be. I thought about doing hardcore streams on regular hardcore to practice, just because I'm dying to play it. But I can wait. I can wait. We've got other stuff we can do in the meantime. I'm patient. I'm a grown-up. Right? When 10.26 is the return of the jailer. I told you this. And then she has to go all the way home because she's crafting. So if you have a Hearthstone handy... I wanted to use my Enlightened Hearthstone. Which it occurs to me I completely forgot to talk about in the news video, but... Oops. Well, Did you try phase 2? Nah, I never got leveled up fully in like phase 1. I only got to like level, what, 10, 11? That was about it. I'm leaving SOD for the SOD pros.
You are?
I am. You know what? You know how I know? I renewed my car insurance. I drove out to dinner. What else? I took my sick boy out early this morning because he needed to go to the bathroom. Speculation's killing me. Brawlers Guild, some oddball new faction. I hope it's something weird. That's my biggest hope for 1026 is that they do something weird. I want it to be just bizarre. I want them to come out with it, and I want us to all sit here and watch streams and of people like reading the thing and go, huh? Excuse me? I want it to be something just really strange, because I think that as a minor patch, the odds of it being something incredibly like compelling and wild is not super high. Like, they're not going to come out with player housing for a 0.6 patch. So, and I don't want it to be something that we've had a bunch of before. I don't want another faction. I don't want more furbolgs. I don't want, you know, like a couple of pirate cosmetics on a daily quest. I would take a couple pirate cosmetics in a daily quest, but that would be disappointing because that's something we've had a million times. I want something weird. Cash shop pirate set with no free stuff. I don't want any new currencies. Yeah.
Watch your step.
I like the Azerothian archives, but I feel like that has satisfied my desire for like a quirky faction with cosmetics and a world event for me for now. I don't want another quirky faction with cosmetics and a world event. Pirate faction led by, was that Matthias? Hazel? Perhaps a fan of the Vancouver Canucks? I think, by like hereditary means, sure, yeah, technically. We are a Canucks family. I don't really watch hockey though. I would be lying if I said that I was a fan. I knew the names of a couple of players that were playing when I was like a kid living at home, but I don't know who's on the team now. I'm assuming that all those people have retired. I hope they have, because if they must not have very many teeth left anymore. Flynn, don't think Matthias is cool enough to drink. Did Flynn and Matthias have a thing, or am I just like dreaming? I feel like it's gonna be that, but with pirates. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of. We'll see. It is your heritage, yeah. I mean, people sometimes like that's how you end up supporting a sports team. It's not because like of any particular thing about the team. It's because either the team is from where you're from, or your family supports that team, so you support that team. My mom was a Canucks fan, so I'm a Canucks fan. They're living together in Stormwind now. Aww. Did they buy a house? Because if so, unrealistic storytelling, immersion broken. I know it's a fantasy universe, but that's the true fantasy, is being able to afford a place to live. Any luck? Attempt 177? Nope. Okie dokie. Worth a try. Thought we liked the Oilers. I had a thing as a kid where I was a contrarian, so everybody would be rooting for the Canucks, or just like watching the game, and I would watch the games and I would pick a different team to root for based on who I thought was good, which I think was just who I thought was winning. I don't remember my criteria. I was like 9. I definitely liked at the time. The Oilers had a minute, but I think it was the Detroit Red Wings. I was a little Detroit Red Wings fan for no other reason than that they were winning, I think. I don't really remember what was going on, but I definitely remember being the only person who would cheer on the Red Wings in a house full of people that were like either not interested or rooting for the Canucks. Where are we going? We're going out of this instance. That's what we're doing. Where's my Stormwind housing? Grew up playing against the Honey Badger himself. That's incredible if that's a real nickname. And I'm assuming it is for a player. That's amazing. Red Wings have an awesome logo. They do have a good logo. As a Torontonian, root for the Canucks for that reason. Plus the whale logo is awesome. Yeah. I like the branding. I remember the 2010 riots, though. That kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. I remember watching the news coverage for the rest of the week of just, like, Canadian broadcasters being like, this is embarrassing. We're all ashamed. Oh, look at Barnacles. Because they had just made such a mess of the city. And that was just such a stinky thing to do, you know? I guess I don't get it because I'm not that excited about sports, but they, like, trashed businesses, you know? He was named Honey Badger because it was such a tenacious forward. Dog down. Work the dirty areas of the ice. I'm glad that people get into it. I don't know what those words mean, but I really enjoy the enthusiasm behind them. Dungeon difficulty, mythic, very good. Okie dokie. I also like the nickname. Rooting for Pittsburgh teams. No earthly idea how they're doing their respective sports whatsoever. I like the feeling of just tuning into the Olympics and then being like, oh hey, wait, where's the Canada team? Or like, where's, like, you know, you just find your country and be like, hey, are we any good at this sport? No? Okay. Rooting for you anyways, you know, just, I'm not like a wildly patriotic person, but I do get a kick whenever, like, the Olympics rolls around of, like, just figuring out, hey, are we good at this one? Who do we have? Oh, cool, good for them. Good for them. Cheers from France. Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Is Canada any good in sports in general? I think so. Couldn't tell you which ones. I want to say we have some strong competitors in a handful of winter sports, but I don't follow any sport closely enough to really know the names. But there's often a couple Canadians within like the kind of top 5, top 10 in most of the events that I find. Things that involve ice and snow.
Alright, attempt number 178. Any luck?
No. I got some focused life anim and I got 2% excited for a second. Not that time. Google this. Olympics 2024. Summer Olympics. Yeah, Paris 2024. I just know it costs a lot of money for cities to host. Because I still remember Vancouver 2010. And mind you, I was just graduating high school in 2010, so I wasn't like a baby, but I also wasn't like in the workforce yet. But I just watched a lot of news coverage of it and a lot of people talking about it. Wish Rarity would count the number of times I've checked this vendor for Werebog. Expensive and annoying for locals, yeah. I had family at the time that lived in Vancouver that was not far from where they had everything set up, and life was just chaos for like ages. There was no snow. They had helicopters in snow from the BC interior. Well, at least he's cute. With the Olympics when I was younger, I liked seeing the ice skaters. I would always tune in for just kind of whatever was on at the time. And this was back when I would, you know, like someone would have it on TV. Like nowadays, I don't really catch up with it unless like I see highlights on YouTube is how I would get it. But I would just kind of like, and you would turn it on and it would be some sport that I've never heard of or just I hadn't thought of before. And then, you know, you watch it for like an hour and by the end of the hour, you're like, ah, yes, this person, what a terrible run. There's no way the judges will score this because like you've you know, you've been listening to them commentate it for the last hour. But at the beginning of it, you're like, wait, what are they trying to do? Wow, that guy with the skis just jumped really far. Vancouver's in Washington. There is another one. I've been to both. I went to Vancouver, Washington once because I went to go see a movie there. It was at the Cinetopia. I love ski jumping. I find it so fascinating. There was a movie that came out. Eddie the something. About a ski jumper. Like an amateur ski jumper. It was similar to the golf one about the guy that just entered the Open. Eddie the Eagle, yeah. It was a cute movie. It wasn't like a top movie of all time. I don't know if I would rewatch it, but it was a bit funny. Yeah. That's right, the eagle. I was just thinking of different words that could go after Eddie, being like, no, I think I would remember if it was that one. What sort of things do they do in the Summer Olympics? I know they run. I'm imagining gymnastics. Diving, swimming. Yeah. Rowing? Rowing. Soccer. Canada's some good runners. Wrestling. Good. Nope. Okay. Lots of team sports. We are 7 of 10 for instance lockout, but we've got half an hour before more open up. So let's just do another like 2 more. I like to leave 1 instance lockout free just in case I want to do like actual content. Volleyball, court, and beach. Tennis? Tennis. What time is it? 10:41. Got a couple more attempts in me. I'm gonna take a short break, I think. We'll check in on my buddy. And we'll be right back. Okie dokie. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Moosey's resting. He is sleepy, which is good. Finally settled down. Okay, we did this character. We're trying this one. Hello. Hi. Bonjour. Oh, ciao. Namaste. Greetings. Hi, how are you? Let's do another one of these, and then once we get close to instance cap, I'm feeling a little bit of Warlock campaign. I want to see what's next in that. I haven't looked at it in a while. I've kind of forgotten where we are. I know I just finished a mission table step. Oh, Katie, are we doing this again? She likes to try to catch my mouse, which is very cute. It's very cute. It does make it difficult to play sometimes. Also, you guys are dangerously close to getting cat butt on camera. You're alright. She's underneath the lens. Yes. Good. Sweetie, if you're gonna sit in front of chat, you have to read it to me. What are they saying? Yeah.
Watch your step. Watch your feet. Shockwave.
That's it. It's been a hard day at work.
Watch your step.
Love this song. It's so good. never peed on the table, huh? Yeah, he did. Here you go. Okay, what if you hung out over here? I feel like we keep doing this. Hi, sweetie.
What's your
The bridge
step?
guy was skippable. I stealth by him on stealth classes. I find it's easier for me to just kind of fight him on a non-stealth class. Because if I do aggro him, I'm just going to get snapped. And sometimes I won't get snapped right away, but then I'll get snapped later. And then I do the fun thing that we did last week where we get ping-ponged. Bing, bing, bing. You just settle down here. I won't get up again until the end of the stream, I promise, kitty cat. Trip and a half last time. I thought about clipping it, and then I thought, you know what? Maybe I should just let that one go. I didn't do it on purpose, but I don't know if I wanna like enshrine the record of it, because I definitely broke something. You're not supposed to be able to get in combat with 2 different snap packs. So if you could come over here, yeah, there we go.
In defensive.
Playing DK.
Watch
I didn't expect it at all, but it's
Phase
become
2.
one of my favorite melees. It's so satisfying to be a melee
Phase 3.
and to see something that's at range and be like, get over here. No luck. No good. He's happy for me though, that's nice. Now that it's spring and the days are getting longer, a lot of my houseplants are getting a lot thirstier. I did a big round where I kind of visited everybody and watered most of them. But I have some more still to do. It took me about a year, but I finally reached houseplant capacity where I really shouldn't get any more. I'll look at houseplants in a hardware store if I'm in it, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm good. It's already too much to keep up with the ones that I have. I do not have a bromeliad, no. I'm not much of a collector though. Sometimes I'll have multiples of the same thing, and sometimes I'll have none of something else based on what I feel like suits my lifestyle. I'm not really like a one of everything kind of plant person. You could get more neat pots for them. This is true. This is true. I wish I knew for a fact whether or not I was going to move this year, because it would influence whether or not I would try to rehome any of my patio plants and or equipment, tomato cages, that kind of thing, in the interest of moving without moving things that are live withoutable. But if I'm gonna stay for another year, then I might just do tomatoes. I don't know. We'll have to see. So she's going to freehold, which means that she needs to let's just direct to Stormwind maybe this time. Does she have a Stormwind cloak? Oh, she used to. Oh well. We can do this too. Calling the spring appears to be trying to jinx things. I think the beaver should be the official animal of Valentine's Day. They always choose you. I'm really glad that like the pun, was your rationale. I appreciate that. Need to start parking some alts outside his local rubber card keep. Yeah, it feels amazing to drag red in zones like this. You zoom in. What did I watch again? I watched the original animated Lion King. I didn't know that Zazu in the original was voiced by Rowan Atkinson, who plays Mr. Bean. And I guess it's understandable that I didn't know that, because Mr. Bean famously doesn't speak. But I just thought that was really funny that he also was a voice actor. Unspent dragon riding glyphs. Indeed, I do. That's true. Is it these ones? These ones? These ones? Yeah, there we go. That's better. Doesn't speak much. It's also Blackadder. And then Whoopi Goldberg was one of the hyenas. Oh, it was fun. It was nice and short. There was another movie that I was thinking of watching, but it was 3 hours long, and I was like, in that time, I could watch The Lion King twice. And I'm not gonna, but I could. By the Sea, still making boss guides. Got me up to speed after coming back recently. Nice, I'm glad that they worked for you. No, I have not seen Kung Fury. The portal add-on is Tome of Teleportation. That race good time. I'm gonna watch a 3+ hour movie. Watch Lord of the Rings. I had been on a kick of watching some Indian movies. I had put on, because I was just looking for another one that really gave me the same feeling that I got from RRR, because that was extremely fun. It was very long, it was epic, it was over the top, it had incredible choreography, dance scenes, everything I'm looking for. And I've been looking for another one that would kind of like, that was on Netflix basically, that would do the same kind of thing for me. I didn't succeed, but I watched a couple that were fun. And those also tend to be very long. Toby is best boy. Yeah, RRR was kind of like a tough intro to the genre because it's hard to live up to. Yeah, I didn't want to say Bollywood because I've learned last time I said that that's not universally correct, and that there's different areas in which the movies are made, and that I didn't know specifically enough to give it a more accurate description, so that's why we went with Indian. Yeah, Rowan Atkinson would be furious to know, I'm sure, that the things that I know him from, there's 3 things that I know Rowan Atkinson from. One of them is Mr. Bean. The second one is the voice of Zazu in The Lion King. And the third one is the man who... Give me a sec. I've got his face in my mind. What's his name? Not Rowan Atkinson. There's another character in the story. Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. I have to Google a second. Hang on. What is... Yeah. The man who dated James Acaster's girlfriend after him. She was also on Taskmaster. I forget her name. She was very funny. But there was like, Acaster has a bit about how he lost his girlfriend to Mr. Bean, but it's true. And that is the third thing that I know Rowan Atkinson from. I don't know if they're still dating. It's none of my business. But I don't think that he would be very happy to know that those are the 3 things that I know him from, because I'm sure he has other work that's much better, but, you know, them's the breaks. I like how my prompt was, who's that guy? And Chad just starts supplying names of men. Was it Hugh Laurie? It might have been Hugh Laurie. Could have been Hugh Laurie. Hugh Laurie, to my knowledge, has not done Taskmaster, although that would be something. Alright. Bob! It was Bob! Guess who I wanted to say? I'm afraid to know. Rose something. Her name was Rose something, I thought. Anyway. We're going to do some Warlock class Winterhawk campaign. Not that Bob, the other Bob. My Uncle Bob? Hazel, do you have a favorite comedian? Oh, that's hard. Sometimes you have a favorite comedian and then they become controversial and then you're like, okay, never mind. Yeah, we might pick Greg Davies. Love him. Rose Matafeo. Yeah, that's the one. She was really good too. Do I have a favorite comedian? I like comedians in general, usually, assuming that they're not wildly controversial. Which I know is like against the spirit of comedy or whatever, but some comedians are edgy without being funny, and I just think there's no excuse for that. Okay, we're doing, so we did, Hazelin was the last one to be done. I'm just gonna try and remember that that's where I was. Boy has some class order whole campaign to do. Yeah, I've never seen 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Ellen DeGeneres' stand-up amongst my favorites or old school stuff from the 80s. I hadn't seen any of her old stuff. I watched a more modern special that didn't super impress me. Sometimes I'll like see some work from a comedian and I'll be like, oh, this is amazing. Oh, never mind. I do have a favorite comedian. I remember too. But then I'll watch like their specials, like their modern specials, and I'll be like, this is just a parent yelling at their PTA meeting. Like occasionally, sometimes older comedians will like run out of material and they're famous enough that they can get Netflix specials without having to have written anything of note. And they'll be like, okay, I need some material. My kid said something funny the other day. And it's not that it's, you know, they've gotten good delivery and whatever, but like, sometimes it's important that you like them as people, because if you don't, it's just like somebody, you know, talking in the office. We are going to turn this in, is what we're going to do. Which means we're going this way. I did not watch the Mr. Bean animated series. Mae Martin is my favorite comedian. I remembered. I love, love, love Mae Martin. Also very good on Taskmaster, but their stand-up special still gets me. I still quote it frequently. And I also watched their show. Oh, I forget the name of it right now, but they have a show on Netflix that's also that was really good. It was very funny, but it also got me in the feels, which is hard because I don't like it when things hit my feelings. So for me, it's gotta do it right for me to not be having a bad time. From a Ritual of Summoning, you betcha. Yeah, Russell Howard's quite funny. Most of the comedians I know, not all of them, but most of the comedians I know are either British, and I know them, not necessarily British, but people that have done Taskmaster, essentially, because I love that show and I've seen all of it. Or, people, if they're North American, then they would probably have some connection to SNL or the SNL cast, because I saw a lot of that content on YouTube. Those are the two avenues through which I find comedians. I don't normally just like try random. Occasionally I'll try a random comedian on Netflix, and sometimes that works out, but sometimes it does not. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Taskmaster is awesome. My husband just sent me a Valentine's Taskmaster clip. Joe Thomas was hilarious. Joe Thomas was so funny. In a way that it just he was, and the horrible thing is, the thing that I found extremely funny was how uncomfortable he looked. He just looked like he was very awkward and uncomfortable. But he had a way of selling it that was really effective, because usually when people look awkward and uncomfortable, I can't watch it because it makes me feel awkward and uncomfortable. I get secondhand embarrassment. I feel it very acutely. I won't watch shows where the comedy is somebody, you know, putting their foot in their mouth and doing something really awkward, because it just hurts to watch. But for whatever reason, seeing Joe Thomas be incredibly out of place on Taskmaster was just killed. It was so good. I haven't seen Greg Davies on Graham Norton. I should probably look that up. So we're going to Val Shiro. We've got a task. We've got a thing to go do. We got to go find Mad Ernie the Alchemist. Because we've got a curse to cure, and we need to go talk to... He's been shunned from Gilneas. Off we go. Talking about this is making me miss Taskmaster. Gotta find a season to rewatch. Yeah, dig fragments can be mailed to other characters. On the vendor that you're buying transmog from, there's also a account-bound version of 1,000 fragments that you can mail around. You have to do it that way. Valshara. Yeah, we can just fly there. Sometimes I'll read a comment and I'll be like, there must be more context to that. So I'll like scroll up in chat to like look for what the context was, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, all right. I get it now. You guys have lost me now. There's a bunch of shows that I haven't seen. I'm sure they're good. What was I watching? I finished the Dancing Dogs documentary. I'm clearly a person of impeccable taste. Oh, I was watching... I'm still chasing that high of inspirational sports documentaries, so I started watching Coach's Rules Playbook for Life, something to that effect. It's like a docuseries that does interviews, like one interview or one coach per episode of like famous coaches across different sports, and talks about like how they... where they came from and how they coach, and, you know, like the stories of the teams they worked with and whatnot. And it's interesting. It's a perfectly good documentary, but I just like documentaries. I feel like they have to be very bad for me to turn them off. They're easy to watch. Hazel, have you maybe perhaps heard of a game called World of Warcraft? No. Tell me everything. Way too many shows, still working through the crown slowly. I had that one on my list because every time that Netflix is like, these are the things that are popular in Canada, it's always on the top 5. And I figure maybe they're onto something. But I haven't gotten around to it. On a true crime page. Are we entering Hazel's sports ball phase? Maybe. It would have to be just a watching sports ball phase. I think my window for becoming a professional athlete probably closed a while ago. I think that for a lot of things, if you're going to be any good, and not that you have to be professional, you know, you can certainly play things amateur for fun, but not the same spring chicken I once was. He wants this goat. We're returning goats. Returning goats to where? Returning goats to you? You want this goat? Can the goat hop the fence? Are you gonna make me go around? You are gonna make me go around. Okay. Come on, goat. I may be able to mount up with the goats, but I'm unwilling to find out. Am I actually? I might be willing to find out. If I dragon ride with this goat, is he gonna freak out? No, he will not. Okay. If you don't 100% sports ball, who are you? Exactly, right? I'm just gonna be crushed by the knowledge that I'm never gonna be one of the greats in the industry. I watched a Zoomer YouTuber spar with Sean Strickland, made me want to try MMA even more. I don't know much about MMA in particular. I think learning martial arts for personal development and wellness is a great idea, though. Potentially dangerous depending on which one and how well supervised you are, but... There's got to be beginner adult classes for like everything, right? Like if you have the disposable income to have somebody teach you something, I'm sure you can find somebody who's willing to in any stage of life, right? Each martial art is different. What kind of transmog is that in your gnome? He is wearing the Wendigo Woolies, which was the BlizzCon 2019 reward for the virtual ticket or the BlizzCon ticket itself. And then he has a dark blue paw pack. Pardon me. He has a dark blue paw pack that is not Calowak, Tuskar. Dragonflight Tuskar. Dragonflight Tuskar renowned. What are they called? Iskara Tuskar, pardon me. Those are the ones. Getting my walruses all mixed up. If you learn a martial art, please stream that. What do you think the odds are of me being one of those people that makes content from the gym? With everything you know about me, how likely do you think I am to be one of those people? Slim to none. Yeah. Not so much. I don't even take very many pictures outside. I don't even take very many pictures inside. There's like 3 factors to it. 1, I don't want to be on camera. 2, I don't want to get anybody else on camera or make them worried that they're going to be on camera. And 3, I don't want to dox myself or anything about anywhere that I go. It's just not my style of content. Yeah, I would be mortified that anybody would think that I'm trying to record them, because that's a thing that people do as well, is like they'll record other people in public and then like make content about it and being like, look at this guy, and it's like, that's insane. It's like, and a lot of gyms will have rules. I'm assuming a lot of gyms will have rules against it because that's insane, but I would hate for anybody to think that that's what I was doing. I'm allowed to be an optimist sometimes. You can be an optimist anytime you want. I can tell you that if you did that, I would probably go to the gym more. We sometimes get in the kitchen. This is true. This is true. People do home gym streams. Those people are fit. I could stream like lifting weights for maybe like 20 minutes. And then I'd be like, okay, I have 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes left in this stream. Now what? You know? Don't understand the trend to record yourself working out. See, that I totally understand somebody wanting to record themselves working out, because on one hand, if you're just recording yourself and you're not recording other people, I don't really mind people making fitness content. I think that can be instructive and inspiring for other people. But also, even if you're not making it for content, just recording your own form so that you can review it later can be a hugely useful thing to try to work on your own fitness, especially if you're working out in places without mirrors, or like you want to be able to do it without like craning your head to see. Recording like your weightlifting or your yoga session or whatever to see what you're doing so you can like iterate on it. I think it's a great idea, but you know, we got to be careful in public spaces to make sure everybody's you know, comfortable. Do I have rank 3 mining in all the Legion ore types? I would be very surprised if that was the case. I need shimmering pollen. We're going this way. Those people have space for home gyms. Also true. Also true. It's my fault that I want to live in this place where I can't afford a big house. I just, I've made my peace with that. You know what? Big house would just be more room for Moose's hair to get everywhere, so I'd have to spend longer vacuuming. Morgoth's Air, thank you for the 10-month resub. Meow. Yeah, I'm sure there's a decent amount of people that do fitness streams. Space? What's that? Oh, something that is easier or harder to come by depending on where you live sometimes. Or how, you know, wealthy you are. Okay, there we go. First scraper tools. It looks like a mini coat hanger. No, I've seen them. I have just one brush. Well, I have two brushes. I have a shampoo brush that I use on him in the bath, if he's getting a bath. And then I have a slicker brush that takes like a decent amount of fur out of him. He doesn't. I think getting brushed is like stimulating to him. It like tickles. Like he doesn't hate it, but he also doesn't want me to do it for too long. And the easiest way for me to give him a really good brushing is to do it while he's eating. Because if he's got his face in his feeder, he is dead to the world. So you can kind of do whatever you want. Getting fur off of furniture. Oh. I've given up on that fight. I have like machine washable covers on my furniture that I can just chuck in the wash if I need the place to look presentable for company, but shy of that, I've just accepted that my house is a tornado of pet hair. It just needs vacuuming pretty frequently. Brush him while he's eating. Eating, not peeing. I don't live stream baking anymore. I have put a couple of food and cooking related member videos out for my $10 a month YouTube members, and there's another one in the works for the next month. But I haven't live streamed it in some time. Look, in the past year, 2-bedroom, even 1-bedroom places, $2K a month around here. It's abysmal. Yeah, and buying's not better. However, I have had good luck with putting down the real estate listings. I have been able to recently take a deep breath and not torment myself quite so much lately, and it's been helping with my overall mental well-being. I've been able to mainly avoid house jail. And I think another thing is, like, I walk through a lot of neighborhoods when I'm walking my dog, and I walk my dog 3 times a day, so I'm out a lot and I see a lot of houses. And for the longest time I would see a house and my immediate thought was, man, I would like a house. I would live in this one or this one or this one. I like this yard. I like this front yard. I think this is good. I think this is good. And everywhere I would go, I was basically just like staring at all of these, like this dream of having a place of your own to live that you own, that felt out of reach. And I'm working on the mindfulness technique of being like, it's just a house. It's not a symbol of everything that you lack and have failed at so far. It's just a house. And that one's just a house. That one's blue. This is just a house with a tree in front of it. It's just a tree. It's just a tree. Trying to create a little space between those two reactions, because I think I've been really cooking myself with that. What are we doing? Doom and gloom. Going home. Going back to Ravensbrück. Check the price. Bam, 1.2 mil. Easy. Yeah. Document local cat demographics. I haven't met very many new cats because they don't come out quite as much when you're walking with a dog. I still see some of the kitties that I knew from before. I haven't seen One Piece, no. Up to 101 attempts with the rocket. Oh, I hope you get lucky soon. Pop the dragon skin, no rocket. Does this turn in back in the class order home? Yes, yes it does. Okay. Glad my dad was able to sell the house he had, buy a new one, not end up in the red. Yeah. I know that feeling of having family that's... Or I know the feeling of having family that's because of the way housing prices are, just because of twists and turns in life. Maybe not the financial stability you'd want for the family that you have. And I would really love to be a big hero that just makes like millions of dollars and, like, you know, sets everybody up so everybody's got a nice safe place to live. But it's hard, and that's a lot of pressure. What are we doing? We were going back to the class order hall. That's right. Uninstalled. Lose my rarity counts. Oh no! Oh, that's a bummer. I've been there. What are we doing today? In the best zones of the game. I'm doing a little Legion class order hall campaign. I'm working on the Warlock campaign for the mounts. I never did it, so I'm catching up. I would love to one day have a place, like a decent sized place that maybe has like another suite or something on like an outbuilding, or like on the property, so that I could have some family like live with us without like living with us, because I think we're very West Coast. We're all fairly like nuclear and independent, and it would be possible, but maybe a bit strange or stressful for us, or not in our nature to like live on top of each other. But it would be great to share property. But those are big dreams. Nice. We got Black Harvest bracers. And then we get champions. Very good. And now they want me to go do Vault of the Wardens. And kill some demons. You betcha. No problem. Off we go. Vault of the Wardens. Where's that? What do you want? Scouting map missions. Alright. Well, I can do the other things in the meantime. I'll send out a scouting map mission. I think dreams are important. Hazelnut Orchard Family Compound. I'm also not 17. And when you start thinking about dreams and things that are going to take 5 years, going to take 10 years, you have to think about your age and your parents' age, and you know, like how if your dream is to have this big property with like, you know, goats and chickens and whatnot, and you want to like work the land and grow food, how old are you planning to be when you start doing that? Like, how long are you going to be able to do that before you need to scale it back down? You guys... Oh, I have too many active followers. Okay. You... go away. You guys... You two can go start that one. Yeah, nice. Okay, you guys still have no chance. One at a time, I suppose. What do you want? World quests, alright. At least they're letting me work on all this kind of simultaneously. I played by trading postcards, right? Had enough to buy a frozen mount, discontinued rocket, and the friendship box. Nice. Like the idea of buying land with another single friend building tiny homes on it. Mom has reached the age of scaling down her gardens. Scale down or spend lots to hire someone for help. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's another important point, Haley. Is sometimes, like, it's hard to not feel like you're failing when you cannot achieve these things, or when these things feel really out of reach. Things like buying a home or, like, looking after your parents. But it's not exactly a fair landscape. It's not that you should give up on your dreams, but it's not very mentally fair to beat yourself up for not being able to make millions and millions of dollars so that you can buy a house that has room for everybody, right? It's and that's an important thing to remind yourself of. It's a bummer, but it's not an individual person's fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but I want to work with them. Be realistic about your dreams. I disagree completely. I think you should be realistic about your plans. Be realistic about your goals. Be unrealistic with your dreams. I think that if you are toning your dreams down, you're letting yourself down a little bit. I think that plans and goals, things that you are executing, those should be realistic, because otherwise you're going to crash and burn really quick. But I don't think there's anything wrong with dreaming big. even if all you do is dream, I think that you're better off having dreamt. What am I doing? But that's just me. I'm vendoring this. I'm gonna do World Quest, Demons, and Vault of the Wardens. Vault of the Wardens can be found in Asuna over here. Let's go. Clearly. No, you're good. You're good.
Kitty, you wanna come back?
Whoa, whoa. Good job, good job. We made it.
Hi, kitty cat.
Sometimes it's also nice to take a look at the dreams that you're already living. Sometimes you've come farther than you think.
I have a kitty cat, and I have a puppy dog, and they live with me, and they look after them.
And they're nice to pet. And I like to get to know them as people, even though I know that's a cat and a dog, but it's just nice to watch them grow up and to get along with them and to fall in love with them. And I bet you that's gonna hurt me real bad one day, but it'll be worth it. It better be.
Oh, kitty cat. Yeah.
So we don't need to do this in any particular difficulty. I guess I can check to see what kind of transmog we're talking. How's the sourdough doing? It's good. It's good. Wait, you have pets? I made another loaf the other day, and I finally put her in the fridge. She's ready for the fridge, and I finally figured I was going to take a couple days before I baked again, so I put her, not on ice, but metaphorically on ice. Legion, Vault of the Wardens. Does she need any transmog? Does he need any transmog? 55% from heroic. Is this for character specific or for all? Was it not shift? That's for everything. I think I have a lot of plate. I had a keybind. I wonder if I undid my keybind. I had a keybind for changing to account mode, but it's not functioning for me at this time. I'm just gonna do it on heroic anyway. If I'm missing the most mog from that difficulty on plate, then it stands to reason I might be missing it on cloth too. PvP is only 32%, you do a fair amount of it. Yeah, there's a lot of appearances from PvP. I could probably work on that number more effectively if I sent Marks of Honor around to just buy sets on different classes, aside from just Priest and Druid. Okay, yeah, so that's just a cloak and that's it. Because I haven't been doing that for kind of the same logic that I had not been collecting, class order hall mounts, as I figured I didn't need them if they were for classes that I wasn't going to play a lot of. Like, I figured, why do I need to have PvP sets for, like, Death Knight if I'm not going to ever use them? But, you know, if you're working on your total percentage, then that's why. Because I get a decent amount of Marks of Honor, and I've been bending them on weapon arsenals recently because I figured that was a good way to get appearances that are both for my class and then for other classes at the same time. But it's like a lot of Marks of Honor to buy a single weapon arsenal, whereas you can get an entire transmog set for a given class for like, what, 12? Something like that. And I'm mainly caught up on Priest and Druid, so I would just need to pick another class and go buy some old sets. It just feels bad. I remember this quest used to pop up all the time, Shipwreck Sailors, because you'd fly over the area, and if you hadn't done it, it would auto give it to you. Are you role-playing? I think you're role-playing. Oh yeah, there you go. Buying those conquest boxes at all? Thought they would give mods of far rings? No, I hadn't been. I'm still buying conquest weapons and stuff that I don't have the appearance for yet. If I get to a point where I know the appearances of everything on the conquest vendor that my druid can buy, then I'll probably start buying those boxes, because at that point there'd be nothing else to do, I think. 1k plus marks every comp stomp. It's quite a few. Oh, there's so many directions that you can go. I don't think any of it's optional either. I think you have to do all of it. At least we one-shot everything. That's something. It's just a lot of running around. Therapist turns is funny that week. These were cool bosses. When this one was a Mythic Plus, I thought the bosses were really neat. I didn't like all the running around. I instinctively loathe any dungeon design that has me backtrack. I hate killing a boss and then running my little stubby legs back out of the wing to go to the next one. I had that same issue in into Shadowlands. With the one Samdi. It's too much backtracking in and out of different wings. The other side, yeah, that was my big grievance with the other side, was it was just a lot of running around because you're in and out and in and out and in and out. Yeah, Threnatides isn't great for it, but at least you they give you like a little port and do they give you a movement speed buff? Maybe not. The end part. I know what you mean. That's why I hate running ICC. Oh man, I haven't done ICC in a long time. So those two are done. So we're ready to elevator here. Oh, and Meldrax's Theater of Pain, maybe? Theater of Pain, I feel like doesn't bother me as much because they would kind of loop you around. Like each sort of spoke that you would go out and fight a boss on would deposit you back at the entrance without you needing to turn around and go backwards, I think. So there's an elevator that goes up, but I think I'm actually going this way. Now that we mention it. Hated Plaguefall and Mist, at least in Tyrannical Weeks. Yeah. They have some good dungeons in Shadowlands. There's a couple of BFA dungeons I could stand to never see again. I feel like there was talk about them bringing back Siege of Borealis as a... There's talk of them doing Siege of Borealis as a Mythic Plus instance. Like a modern one. And I feel like people must have complained to get that cancelled. Unless I'm just, again, strange dreams that Hazel had. But, because it didn't happen. And I thought, good. I don't want it to happen. Alright, I didn't get the light, but that's just gonna have to be okay. Hi, kitty. You're in front of chat again. You're really having a desk cat era. She'll pick a thing or like a place to be or a different thing to do. And she'll do a lot of it for a couple of weeks in a row and then she'll pick a new spot. I think part of the problem might be that I have left some plushies on her chair so she can't sit on her blue chair. I think if I move those, she may, not like immediately, but maybe tomorrow, end up back on her blue chair. Get around, desk. Maybe she's trying to mirror you. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. See you later, Wolf Cloud Chaser. Happy Valentine's Day. Would do TD again? Like the place, but they need to fix the floor bugs. Yeah. TD, I told Igor I could do without. It's not as hated for me as Siege of Borealis, but it's not my favorite. And then, yeah, the stress of like pulling trash through floors is not great. I've seen videos of people getting toy laptops for their cats. It's adorable. Or Moose getting closer. Moosey still wants to play. So we're working on that, but no. I honestly didn't think we would have the gate up for this long, but it's mainly just for her comfort and ease of well-being. He's at a point now where he can kind of leave alone things that are attractive to him, which is good. But he's just his number one desire in life is to play, to the point that he'll meet a person, and you know how some dogs will meet you and they'll like want pets. Moose will like sniff your hand and then he'll like jump into like a play bout, be like, do you want to play? Do you want to romp? Do you want to rumble? Shall we wrestle with like people? Let alone any dogs. It's like his biggest desire ever. So when he found out that there was another four-legged critter that lived here, he was like, oh man, I love her. I can't wait. I bet she wants to play. Do you think she wants to play? And every time that he sees her, he's gonna try. And he's doing better at not jumping on top of her now, but he still makes a lot of noise while he's leaping about, attempting to insinuate or instigate play. And she's blind, so she just hears a bunch of clomping and then she like gets scared. And that's the thing, is I don't want her to be super stressed. So we're working on it. I'm working on having Mr. Moose just calm down. Leave her alone. You know, have a nice lay down. Especially because he's gotten quite big. What do you think is worse, Shrine of Storm, Siege of Bralis? Siege of Bralis for me, but that's just because I'm dead to the sharks in the water before we even get started because I fell off of the walkway. Oh look, foreground cat. Dog wants to play with the cats. Actually regressed the other day to have the gate up. Yeah. It's tough, but it's good you're looking out for your animals. And yeah, I know. Because Moosey's not like, he's not doing anything mean or even like wrong technically. It's wrong in that we have a house rule of you cannot chase this cat. Or like, you know, frighten her, but like we're not gonna allow you to do that. But like he's, you know, he's not doing anything nefarious. He just really wants to play. We're in Veldraken. I didn't mean to be here. We need to do Legion World Quest and kill Legion demons. Because it would be great if we got that sorted so that we could when the 5 missions are done, like be ready for the next step. Because that should be pretty close to the end of it. Who'd win in a fight? Jaina or Sylvanas? It's a great question. I have no framework with which to answer it. I don't know. I'm also like a bad nerd in that I've never had a whole lot to contribute to the who would win conversations. There's something broken in my brain where I don't really have fun speculating. I just go, but they're not real. Like I don't know how to answer the question, so I just get frustrated by the premise. But I know that's like a popular talking point for like many different fantasy properties. I'm just doing it wrong. I miss my previous dogs trying to do Mortal Kombat with me. But I don't mean to be dismissive to the question because it's just trying to make conversation. It's a nice thought. I'm going to Legion, but how I'm getting there is really anybody's guess. This is the Exodar, this is Caverns of Time. That's Shatrath, that's the Jade Forest, that's Dalaran. We've gone too far, back it up. Crystal Song Forest, Dalaran. One of these goes to Asuna. This one goes to Asuna. There we go. I knew we'd get there in the end. My Dalaran Hearth was on cooldown. I mean, I guess it's off cooldown now. It was on cooldown when I first started this journey. Alright, 10 world quests. So we want easy ones, and anything that has us killing demons is a double whammy because we do need to kill demons. It looks like there's a demon invasion in this zone right now, so that's kind of good. Efficient. Should be able to remember this. Oh, these were the prime... This was the era of world quest list. It was so beautiful. These aren't lootable. everything was so broken. You would just join a group for this, and there would just be dozens of dead infernals on the ground. Your game would just be slide-showing frames. You'd be like trying to compete for snipes with no performance in your PC whatsoever. Because the servers would just crash. They would just crumble under the weight of a bunch of people that had been funneled onto there by the add-on. Okay. One. Ha, ha. Happy Valentine's Day all. Enjoy the small things in life. I'm gonna have a cozy day, I think. Hoping. Never got the rank 3 mining drops in Legion. Drove me nuts. What did I do for professions in Legion? I know I had an herbalist, because I remember getting Foxflower and Fjarnskoggle. Because I remember thinking that that was a funny word that I liked saying. And or rating. And also they were decent for gold. I mainly remember farming bear meat for the speed food. I would make gold farming bear meat for speed food, because that was back when I forget what they were called, but there was like, they nerfed it later. But it would give you like an actual sprint after killing a mob, and it was awesome for running old instances. Here, I'm gonna flip my chat screens again so I can read chat around the cat, because she is fully committed to being right in front of where my chat window is. There we go. Also, she's foreground cat, but we don't worry about that. Bear tartar, that's the thing. Yeah, I would farm bear tartar to sell it. That worked out great. The Falcaster omelet? Hmm. World quest areas. The pet, no, there were dailies too, because there were like pets and you could get like toys for them. I did a whole video on it, I remember that. She's just being majestic. Oh, I got a Legion green belt. I wonder if I can sell it for like 10 gold. I like putting transmog greens up for extremely cheap because I have no patience to sell them for what they're actually worth, so I just sell them to people that are sniping. 85 gold, come and get it, that kind of thing. I'm assuming now that you can kind of move gold cross-realm and, you know, shop for that kind of thing cross-realm. That things would get sniped, at least for the sake of people's collections, if nothing else. Yeah, you could move you could move items as well, actually. Okay, so I mean, this is one way to get demon blood. That world quest is done. Let's go do this one. Still rocking the same keyboard mouse combo. I have a Logitech G600, and then this is a Logitech keyboard as well. G710, 610. Orion Brown. I like brown mechanical switches. I haven't changed them in a good long time. I've worn the letters off the WASD, mostly the ASD. I don't know why I'm backpedaling so much, but I've worn the letters off of them. And it's one of those keyboards, it's like a black key that has, I guess, like a clear part for the letters. And it's the black paint that's wearing off, so the letters are just getting bigger and more fuzzy and more splotchy as I continue to erode them. How did you manage to convert back to using the keyboard after using Orb Weaver? I did the sort of same thing I did the first time, but in reverse, which was to start a new character. Like, first of all, I sat down and I looked at the keys that I was going to need, and I had a good long think about what would make sense to use as keybinds, and I, like, figured that out. And then once I had my keys that my fingers didn't know how to use, I basically set it up with a character that I didn't know how to play. So I think it was still, did I use a Holy Paladin? I think I did. And I was like, I'm going to level this character I'm going to use this setup, and every time I get a new ability, I'm putting it on one of these new buttons, so I don't know how to use the buttons, but I also don't know how to play the character. It'll be like playing a brand new game. I wasn't fighting muscle memory, and then I kind of played that until I got the hang of it. It happened a lot faster this time. I switched over in the course of about a week, I think. I had like one raid night where I wasn't very good, and then I kind of had the hang of it after that. But many of my skills are on my mouse, so I really only had to move my rotational abilities. I just had to move my main rotation abilities. Because I was using before my keypad, I had like rotation on the middle 6. But then all of the extra buttons were mainly just cooldowns and stuff that I could have on my mouse anyway. So I just needed to find like some good comfy buttons that I could just mash for mashing at my rotation. I just looked at the keyboard and figured out what would be comfy for me. Still got the same mouse. They're hard to get now, and that drives me nuts. I have I got a gift of a future mouse for if and when this one eventually breaks for me to switch to, because I always like having a backup mouse on hand, and this is my last G600. They're more expensive, but I got a Corsair one. I was gifted a Corsair one to use after this. So I just like using things that are going to continue to be available. And then if they stop being available, then I want to switch to something else that is in production. Even if that means switching a lot. But I think that once you've kind of switched a couple of times, like to a gaming mouse or to and from different keyboards, you kind of get better at switching, I think. I think there's something to do with the way your brain stores that info, where if you've switched a few times, you like, it's kind of like how if you learn languages often, you pick up new languages faster later on than like the first one. I'm, again, talking out of my butt, but I did notice that it was a lot faster to switch back to keyboard this most recent time. The thing that I feel all clunky and funky on now, if I was going to start rhyming for no reason, is Xbox controller. I've been using Xbox controller for Pal World, Elden Ring, what else? Dave the Diver. Just like Steam games on my living room PC. And I have played with an Xbox controller before, but I haven't spent nearly as much time gaming on them, so to the point that like a game will ask me to press X and I have to look at the controller to figure out which one that is still. It's I'm still very clunky sometimes, or sometimes I'll just open a bunch of menus because I'm trying to hit a specific button and it's just not going very well. So there's faster world quests that I can do, but these are nice because they're also giving me demon blood. Yeah. And then of course the Nintendo controls are a little bit different than the Xbox controller. So if I'm going back and forth between Switch games and Xbox controller games, that still gets me because I just didn't spend enough time with either of them as a kid, I guess. I don't know. All 3 consoles have X in a different position, which I declare is rude. Maybe it's important for like copyright or IP reasons, or not IP, but maybe it's important for some kind of legal reason, but it's not very nice to me. I don't think they were thinking of Hazel. But yeah, I've been driving myself nuts with Pal World because I keep going back and forth between keyboard and controller, depending on if I'm playing it here or on my couch. And I can play with both of them, but switching between them takes me a minute. Especially because something will be on the X button on the controller, and then I'll be trying to use the X key for it on the keyboard, and that's not where it is at all. Oh, that's okay. There must be a really good spot for me to farm demon blood. We're at 68 of 100. It's coming along. We did a lot of these invasion world quests. I'm sure I could go do the assault end thing wherever that is. I don't want to though. We're leaving. We're out of here. We gotta do another 5 world quests. Let's find some good ones to do. we doing, kitty cat? It is 1:45. We're getting to the end of our stream. You finally, yeah, stretching. She likes to go right where the mouse is supposed to be, which makes it occasionally hard to use the computer. This is just demon blood. There's no world quests in this zone, which is very strange. That's weird, right? Why are there no world quests there? Have I not? I haven't unlocked world quests. I just had the invasion ones because of special reasons. We have to go back to Dalaran. That's so funny. I hadn't unlocked Legion world quests, and I still managed to get 5 of 10 because they give you the invasion ones anyway. I'm thinking, where are they all? Will they just not show me because I'm not in the zone? No? Oh. Oops. That's an easy fix, at least. Thank you. Once you unlock them, you'll be inundated. Oh. Alrighty. Who's got some? This zone has some nice demons in it. I don't like that world quest. I don't like that world quest. I just want to, like, kill individual bosses. Oh, there's a pet battle. Really no good. High Mountain's got some decent ones, usually. Clay race. Danger. Yeah, there are a couple wanted quests up there. There must be extras in Ashara that I just never did. Oh yeah, we can go kill Withered Jim! Remember Withered Jim? He was the moment in Legion. He was an event. Let's go visit him. Mount is quite mad. Got myself a movie ticket weeks ago. Day of, don't feel like going, but I will force myself to go outside. I hope it's one of those things where once you're actually out there, you have a nice time. I've had a few of those lately. I just don't wanna, but then once I'm actually out, it's like, yeah, this is kind of fun. And then, like, after the fact, you're glad that you went. Is there a particular movie you're excited to see? Alright. There he is. There's our boy. He dropped, what was it, a trinket that was, like, good for a lot of people. And, he would be just like a slideshow of frame rate because there would be so many people fighting him. Arcana Crystal, yeah. Good old times. Okay. Ooh, Blottus was a nice easy one. I think that can be ickied. If we're talking world quests. I'm getting a couple hundred gold for some of these world quests. 207 gold. Why did I get 207 gold? I haven't been getting them for doing the other stuff. I know there used to be a thing where you would equip your followers with the items that would give you gold when you completed world quests, and if you got a couple of the really good ones, you could go get like a couple hundred gold per world quest, even if the world quest itself didn't give gold. I was on that grind for a while. There's always something. Betcha we can icky. Get some other birds just in case. Confused why the Elite World Quest and Emerald Dream gives 28 gold. It sounds like one of those things that's probably just broken. Triple. You know me, I only have one of each thing. This is one of the mechanical chickens from Zarethmort. It's a proto-chicken. My mom had a chicken named Bud when I was a kid. She was like a cool hen. Named Budded in her honor. The chicken was a cool hen. My mother is a human woman. It's a wanted quest if you go far enough this way. I got 14 polished pet charms for that. It's 14 pet charms I get to keep. The clarification. It just sounded like one of those like kooky things that somebody might say if they were trying to both sound cool and like, I don't know, roleplay a club goer in the 70s, being like, oh yeah, you know, Sarah Jean, I met her. She was a cool hen. Someone somewhere in the history of time has said it. Someone must have. It's all been done. I know I did. It does sound like an Animal Crossing villager punchline. Hen parties are a thing. True. And stag do's, you know. Who are we if not identified with animals? Well, that's an easy road quest. I wish they could all be that easy. Gonna start calling friends that. Hey, cool hen. Just to see the look they give me. You call me a chicken? No. A hen. It's like chicken, but make a girl boss. I would be flattered. I would be flattered that someone had deemed me cool enough to get like a kooky nickname. It's a very close cat. Yeah. We have some real foreground kitty today. We're almost to the end of stream, or else I would maybe move her again, but I'm just gonna let her stream. Actually, I'm still in focus. It's just a shadow of her forehead. She's just perched. She's just set up. Miss Muffin. Judging her rotation. Only another 30 demon blood. I guess the nightmare isn't really demons. Not related. I can always finish it up some other time though. Quick breakdown your keybinds. Trying to find an optimal setup. The main thing about my keybinds that I like is that my movement is on, I've got WASD, and A and D are not turn left and right. A and D are strafe. I have nothing bound to turn left and right because it's useless and a waste of time. So A and D is strafe, and that way I have Q and E are both, Q and E being pretty comfortable keys, are both rotational buttons for me. So I've got Q, E, R, T, F, G, and then a Shift F and G. And then I've got Z, X, V, and then a Shift Z, you know, randomly for my keyboard buttons. And that leaves my number keys free because A, they're a little far to stretch for me. I don't like moving my hand up there. But secondly, my number keys are by default bound to my mouse. And I cannot be bothered to go and reconfigure those to be bound to something else. So that's just the way that I like to do it. Lots of people will try to tell you there's an optimal way. The perfect thing to do is the thing that is comfortable and efficient for you and your hands and the way that your brain works. But that is what works for me. But I use Shift, Control, and Alt modifiers because I find that I need them if I want to really have enough room for everything and not feel like I have to bump a keybind for something else that's more important. Yeah, C is still character window for me. I think the reason I'm used to ZX and V are because I also used the bottom keys on my gamepad when I had one, and that involved kind of curling my hand towards me like that. So that's comfortable for me, but it might not be for everybody. I also have pretty long fingers, big hands, which may be a factor. MMO mouse helps. Yeah, you can hold Shift and modify mouse buttons. Exactly. So if you look at my bars, if I go into edit mode here, I guess I don't have all my action bars turned on right now. If you look at my action bars, if I turn them all on, I guess boy doesn't have that many keybinds, is you're going to notice that I have this bar here is my mouse. So 1 through equals. This little 3x4 grid is my mouse buttons, and it directly corresponds to the 3x4 grid on the side of the mouse. And then I have the same thing again with Shift, and then the same thing again with Alt. So on a class that has a lot of keybinds, or just a lot of things that I want to have handy on a button, it doesn't have to be a class keybind, it could be anything. I will populate those, and then I can use Shift in those mouse buttons or Alt in those mouse buttons to basically hit anything that I need to, and that's loads of keybinds. I've got 36 things that I could put on my mouse. I don't usually use all of them, and I never use those for anything rotational that I'm hitting very, very often, or I'm hitting like, you know, multiple times every 10 seconds or something like that. But for anything that's like 30 seconds or more on cooldown is a good candidate to be put onto the mouse button for me. Anything that's like sometimes, but not getting hammered. No luck on the Holiday Drake appearance yet. No, nothing. No good. Did I get on my Demon Blood? I did not get on my Demon Blood. There's a few demons over here. Good YouTube video, the Liquid Raiders argue about keybinds. Moral is no one agrees. Yeah, we've all come to our own keybinds from different roads and with different considerations. I never mind talking about why mine work for me, but I would never assume that it's like the best way to do it. It's just the thing that happens to work for me. I would say that my bottom keys here, like the ZXV, are also usually not super rotational things. I mean, they're a mess on this character. He's got Overload Elemental Herb, Curse of Exhaustion, Create Soulwell, and Soulstone. His keybinds are ugly. This is an alt I don't play very much. I've been experimenting actually in Solo Shuffle with, I've been experimenting with using Z and X for my party targeting instead of scroll wheel. I've been working on that. I hate it so far, and I had to bump my Shadow Meld and my Trinket to different keybinds, which means I need to relearn those keybinds, which is ugly, but that's what I'm working on right now. So what I would do with the 12-button mouse that auto-assigns as 1 to 9 keypad is, depending on the mouse, it should have some software that comes with it. Like the Logitech ones use the Logitech Gaming Framework, Razer ones use Synapse. There's other mice that hopefully have software in which you can go and reassign the buttons. So then you could reassign those to whatever. You could use like F keys, for example, and then in keybinds, go and keybind things to F keys directly that way. It would be done through a piece of software, though. Follower dungeons being instant queue. It's actually 20 portals to all the dungeons, because you can just run out after. That's a good point, actually. This is a terrible place to farm Demon Blood. I bet you that Suramar spot's better. Nothing. I'm so close to being finished this. And then this is going to take a little while, but I can run those missions, like, off stream, too. I can't promise I'll remember to do them all, like, today, but whenever we think about it, we can check in with Boy and send off a couple missions. It should be his last mission table step, because he's already done one. Do I get more Demon Blood from a big demon? No, not really. So after that, he should be done with time gating and be pretty close to the end. Assuming that I don't get caught up the same way that I did in my paladin, where it's like, wait, actually, you need to start Suramar. If the people in Suramar won't talk to you, we won't talk to you. 24 hours of Legion class campaign, waiting for a mission table stream. That's when we start lifting weights. We start pumping iron while waiting for the Legion mission table missions to finish. There's content. I just pick up my 5s, start doing curls. Great idea. Not a huge fan of ramping with healing. Feels like I'm micromanaging too many things. Yeah, it's not... You gotta be in the right mood for it. I kind of liked, not ramping, but like setting up big heal burst windows on my Prevoker. But whenever I try playing Resto Druid, I can't be bothered. Especially because you'll set up a ramp for a healing window, but then you won't need to do any healing, and you'll be like, well, what have I been doing for the last 10 seconds? What was the point of this? On a Prevoker, if you set up like a big bunch of stuff in your stasis and you don't need it when you think you do, you might need it before it expires. You get to kind of hold on to it for a little bit. I am so close. 2 more, we need 3 more demon blood, but then I'm gonna wrap up the stream. It is past time. I gotta get to it. I can't hang out here today all day. It's Valentine. I also need to dip before our keybind wars get too heated. Not that you guys are doing fine, but there's a couple of topics you can bring up in your stream chat that'll, you know, kick the bees. Oh, big stretch, big stretch. There you go. All right, you know what? He's got 3 minutes left on his Dollar Hearthstone, and I think that I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna leave him here. Gear's ready to go. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me today, guys. I think I'm going to have to do a fuzzy outro unless I want to stick my face up there, which I do not want to do. Thank you for joining me today. I had a great stream. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another stream of something or another. We might mix in some non-WoW streams this week. We'll have to see. But I appreciate the company. Happy Valentine's Day. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.